The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The big rollout of vaccine options continues. 38,400 doses of Johnson & Johnson due in this week. Pfizer open for appointments and 19,240 AstraZeneca doses in the country. But more than 50% of healthcare workers are vaccinated. That means a lot aren't. And the healthcare sick-out continues. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's there. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, August 16th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Chester Robards will be here, filling in for Pam Musgrove, who's still on vacation. Also this morning, we'll be talking with the U.S. Embassy about their donation of vaccines to the country. And later in Morning Blend Business, Prospect Ridge Development, the deadline today. Was there enough time for prospective buyers? We'll get into what you need if you want to meet that deadline. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning.
wake up.
In the overnight, the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee is hoping to vaccinate 60,000 Bahamians and residents in the next 6 weeks. That's according to committee chair Dr. Merceline Dalregis, who confirmed yesterday that additional vaccination centers will be opened on New Providence and Grand Bahama this week to accommodate the rollout of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. Dalregis projected that in the next 2 weeks, the available appointment slots will nearly double. Last week, a total of 8,858 doses of the COVID vaccine were administered. She says that over the next week, between August 16th and 20th, there are 7,514 appointments already booked, including 4,603, or 61% first doses, and 2,911, or 39% second doses. She says that represents 96% of the appointment slots available online up to Friday of this week. During the week of the 23rd of August, she says they anticipate that a total of 17,100 appointments will be available. And the goal is to fully vaccinate, as we said, 60,000 people over the next 6 weeks. Also from that press conference yesterday, we learned that just over 50% of the healthcare workers in the country have been vaccinated. That's according to Chief Medical Officer Dr. Pearl McMillan. McMillan saying that we have a long way to go and that this was of grave concern as to getting healthcare workers, more of them, vaccinated. This all happening as services at Princess Margaret Hospital and Grand Bahama Health Services remain impacted as healthcare workers continue their sick-out, which started on Thursday and was reportedly triggered by a decision by healthcare officials on who will receive COVID-19 honorariums and who will not. While the PHA says that Princess Margaret Hospital experienced fluctuations in reporting of staff, the Nassau Guardian understands that approximately 300 healthcare workers called in sick across the two institutions on Friday. And that figure was double the number of healthcare workers that called in the day before. Public Hospitals Authority issuing a statement on this over the weekend. While noting that not all employees qualify for payments, the PHA said that it will disperse more honorariums after the August payroll. A statement saying that the honorarium was originally intended for a subset of frontline healthcare workers when most healthcare workers were hesitant and declined to serve in the first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. It says that subsequently the government expanded eligibility to include additional cadres of staff, some working in clinical and non-clinical settings during the period from March 19th through to June 18th of 2020. It says the authority has received approximately $1.4 million from the Ministry of Health for payment of this honorarium. The PHA says that there are two tiers of eligibility for payments. The first tier was for employees who willingly volunteered in advance of the onset of the pandemic, and according to the authority, those payments went up to $5,000 starting on August 13th. The second tier is for employees who volunteered at or after the onset of the pandemic or did not volunteer but were required to work as their job functions were directly related to COVID-19 management. The authority says that those payments will start following the completion of the August 2021 payroll activities and are expected to be concluded within 5 business days. And amid an ongoing surge of COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations, Doctors Hospital is scrambling to secure more oxygen for its severe patients. That's according to CEO Dr. Charles Digges, saying that on some days, COVID patients make up between 70 to 80% of patients at the hospital's main site on Shirley Street. Digges also confirming on Saturday that doctors only had 4 ventilators available for use as the others were occupied. He says the two major issues facing the hospital right now relate to nurses who are fatigued or are off sick with COVID and oxygen supply. Overseas, under Haiti's burning heat, many are lying with a lost stare on flimsy mattresses placed on an airport tarmac. Residents in the southwestern part of the country trying to comprehend what has happened now with this earthquake over the weekend. The country's Civil Protection Agency saying that 1,297 are dead from the magnitude 7.2 earthquake. This count coming on Sunday, a day after the quake turned thousands of structures into rubble and set off frantic rescue efforts ahead of a potential deluge from an upcoming storm. Saturday's earthquake also left at least 5,700 people injured, with thousands more displaced from or damaged homes. After sundown Sunday, one area was darkened by intermittent blackouts, and many people slept outside again, clutching small transistor radios tuned to news, terrified of the continuing aftershocks. The devastation could soon worsen with the upcoming tropical depression Grace, which is predicted to reach Haiti by tonight. The Civil Protection Agency says Haitians must expect strong winds, heavy rain, rough seas, landslides, and flooding. Officials say that more than 7,000 homes were destroyed and nearly 5,000 damaged. Hospitals, schools, offices, and churches were also affected. The quake centered about 78 miles west of the capital of Port-au-Prince and razed some towns and triggered landslides that hampered rescue efforts in a country that is the poorest in the Western Hemisphere. It already was struggling with the worsening poverty, the coronavirus pandemic, the political uncertainty following the July 7th assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, and a wave of gang violence. And thousands of people packing into the Afghan capital's airport today, rushing the tarmac and pushing onto planes in desperate attempts to flee the country after the Taliban overthrew the Western-backed government U.S. troops fired warning shots as they struggled to manage the chaotic evacuation in Kabul. The Taliban swept into the city Sunday after the president fled the country, bringing a stunning end to a 2-decade campaign in which the U.S. and its allies had tried to transform Afghanistan. The country's Western-trained security forces collapsed or fled in the face of an insurgent offensive that tore through the country in just over a week, ahead of the planned withdrawal of the last American troops at the end of this month. In the capital, a tense calm set in, with most people hiding in their homes as the Taliban deployed fighters at major intersections. There were scattered reports of looting and armed men knocking on doors and gates, and there was less traffic than usual on eerily quiet streets, but fighters could be seen searching vehicles at one of the city's main squares. Many fear that chaos after the Taliban freed thousands of prisoners and the police simply melted away, or a return to the kind of brutal rule the Taliban imposed when it was last in power. In sports, on the heels of a successful FIBA, the International Basketball Federation Basketball World Cup, America's pre-qualifiers campaign in July, the Bahamas' senior men's program jumping up 3 places to number 59 in FIBA's latest rankings. That was released after the postponed 2020 Tokyo Summer Games. The move also brings the Bahamas to number 12 in the FIBA Americas zone. The Bahamas has 164.1 points and sits above Switzerland. Just above the Bahamas at number 58 is Portugal. Bahamas Basketball Federation President Mario Boleg says the Bahamas basketball is moving in the right direction. You can read more about this in today's Guardian Sports section. And more from basketball, Bahamian professional basketball player Kai Jones was a force to be reckoned with as he was able to grab a game-high 16 rebounds for the Charlotte Hornets and a nail-biter 80-79 loss to the Toronto Raptors over the weekend. This was in Las Vegas for Summer League action in the NBA. The big man was 1 point short of finishing with his second double-double as he finished with 9 points to earn the Hornets Player of the Game award. He finished 3 for 10 from the field and 3 for 4 from the free throw line. You can read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got a tropical wave that will support a few showers and thunderstorms across the country as it migrates westward today. A tightening pressure gradient between high pressure north of the area and the tropical depression Grace out in the Caribbean, just passing south of the islands, will generate fresh to strong breezes across the southeast and central Bahamas through tonight. There is a slight chance for waterspouts and funnel cloud activity in showers and thunderstorms. Beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents along east and southeast coast beaches, and residents again should limit outdoor activities and remain hydrated due to heat indices expected in the triple digits. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, look for partly sunny and warm conditions with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming fair tonight with a few showers possible. Gusty winds and higher seas can be expected in showers and thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, warm, and breezy with quick passing showers and the chance of a few isolated thunderstorms today. Breezy to windy tonight with isolated showers and thunderstorms possible. Small craft caution is in effect. An advisory will come into effect tonight. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 15 to 25 knots, and gusty at times tonight. sees 4 to 6 feet, but building to 5 to 8 feet with higher gusts tonight. Temperature-wise, right now in Nassau, it's about 82 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Look for highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. For the heat index, as we said, triple digits today, 101 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight expected around 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll tell you about your extended outlook and a lot about what's going on in the tropics. Quite a bit to talk about there. Coming up after traffic in just a bit. You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top story right here on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Stay a step ahead of technology with certainty and support from Custom Computers. Our know-how team is here to help you zero in on your next big tech purchase, finding solutions that take your productivity to the next level using only the best and most reliable brands. With stores in Palmdale, West Bay, and Old Fort Bay, and free delivery to businesses, there's no stopping you from stepping up your tech. Reach out to us at 396-1100. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Be prepared for the rainy season with an RBC loan to fund your rainy season essentials. For hurricane shutters, generators, solar power systems, or general home repair, RBC offers a range of flexible and competitive financing solutions. Let us help you get started at rbc.com/Caribbean/get-a-loan. Special conditions apply. Reimagine your rainy season readiness with RBC financing.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. But remember, standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now on this Monday, filling in for Pamela Musgrove, who is enjoying her vacation. We've got Chester Robards. Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Hi, a lot to get to this morning, as we said. Coming up, we're going to be talking with the U.S. Embassy about their donation of vaccines. That's coming up in our 8 o'clock hour. And then in our 9 o'clock hour, as we said, we mentioned it on Friday, but today is the final day for the Prospect Ridge development, and hasn't been really much, I don't know if you agree with that, Chester, not much said about it since it was first mentioned in the House of Assembly.
Yeah, that's true. Not much said by the government, even though on the street I've been hearing a lot about it.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about it, but there wasn't much promotion. Definitely maybe a billboard here and a flyer there, but...
Doesn't sound like it needed promotion to me.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
A lot of people were on that.
Oh, all right. Well, today's the final day. We're going to take a look at that. We're hoping to have somebody officially talk to us. That might still happen, but we will see. We will just talk to you all about it and get your views on how this went and how this is going. We'll get into that later in Morning Blend Business. But right now, a lot to get to in the news. And in the news, already getting a text. Somebody's asking about the honorarium. Yeah, you heard me read a statement in the overnight. We're going to get into that a little bit later. We had a lot to talk about with that on Friday. And the PHA issued a statement clearing up. As I had predicted, I expected that more people would be getting. This was just the first batch. And that's basically what they've said. And that's why I was asking whether this was premature. But they saw some people getting, and they were concerned. But the PHA is explaining why some got, who they were, and who will be included in the next tranche, as we like to say now. We'll get into that a little bit later. The big story, though, is the press conference from yesterday. The National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee speaking about the many vaccine options that we will have over the next few weeks with Pfizer, appointments starting this week for those who are interested in Pfizer. There's a lot more AstraZeneca already in the country, and Johnson & Johnson expected in a few days. So they're hoping for a big push in vaccines over the next few weeks. As many as 60,000, they're hoping, 60,000 Bahamians and residents over the next 6 weeks. That's the aim. I want to play a piece of the press conference. This is what Dr. Dal Regis had to say. She's the chair of that committee. And take a listen to this if you missed it yesterday. But I think these are some of the key points that people need to be paying attention to. And then we'll talk a lot more about it afterward.
I'm happy to report that we have secured the infrastructure to accommodate the safe and secure transportation of the Pfizer vaccine to the islands. And we are grateful to all our partners who have contributed to this accomplishment. To accommodate the planned rollout of the Pfizer vaccine, more vaccination centers will be added on New Providence, we hope in Grand Bahama as well, and the Family Islands in the coming days and weeks. However, we note that there will be additional requirements for technical, physical, and human resources to ensure the delivery of this vaccine. The recommended interval between doses of the Pfizer vaccine is 21 to 28 days, quite distinct from that of AstraZeneca. This will allow us to fully vaccinate more people at a quicker rate. The Pfizer vaccine is available to everyone 12 years of age and older. Now, just as we did with the AstraZeneca vaccine, before we begin administering Pfizer to the general public, we will carry out an assessment of the administration of the vaccine with an already selected group of adults and children 12 and over. This will take place tomorrow, Monday, the 16th of August. On Thursday, the 19th of August, we will begin administering the Pfizer vaccine to the general public at the Kendall G.L. Isaacs Gymnasium. The Kendall Isaacs Gym Vaccination Center will be the only site administering the Pfizer vaccine on Thursday and Friday this week. The public may begin booking appointments tomorrow, Monday, August the 16th, starting at 3 p.m., and this will be for the Kendall Isaacs Gym. The Loyola Hall, St. Anselm's, Baha Malia, and Church of God vaccination centers on New Providence, and the Susan J. Wallace Community Center on Grand Bahama will continue to operate this week to accommodate appointments to receive the AstraZeneca vaccine. You see the schedule posted there. As part of the push to get as many shots in arms as quickly as possible, the Kendall Isaacs Gym, Loyola Hall, and Malia vaccination centers on New Providence will also be open over this coming weekend on Saturday, the 21st of August, and Sunday, the 22nd of August. Pfizer vaccine will be offered at all of the weekend sites. On Grand Bahama, an assessment of the administration of the Pfizer vaccine will be carried out this coming weekend, followed by a full rollout the week of the 23rd of August. Family Island residents should pay close attention to the schedule updates in order to make appointments as soon as they become available. Visit vax.gov.bs to book your appointment online, or visit one of the walk-up centers to book an appointment. Vaccination schedules can also be found at opm.gov.bs and the Ministry of Health's Office of the Prime Minister's social media platforms. Schedules are posted weekly and will be updated regularly. We will provide more information about the administration of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines in the coming days once the vaccines have arrived in country. Of note, the Bahamas supports the position of the WHO's Strategic Advisory Group of Experts, SAGE, this group on immunization, which advises that countries can consider administering a first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, followed by a second dose of Pfizer, particularly in situations of interrupted supply. Studies have shown that offering a first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, followed by a second dose of Pfizer, offers strong protection against the COVID-19 virus. If you have received a first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, you will be able to book Pfizer as a second dose. The interval between AstraZeneca and Pfizer regimen will follow the recommended guidelines. If you have received a first dose of the Pfizer vaccine abroad, you may receive your second dose of Pfizer in the Bahamas. However, you will be required to present proof of vaccination of the first dose and present both vaccination cards to prove full vaccination status. You will be asked to register your vaccination status on the vax.gov.bs portal to be counted in the national vaccination numbers. At this time, we will not be offering a third dose of the vaccine. School children need to be protected to facilitate safe in-person learning. Previously, only teachers and school staff were eligible to receive the vaccine. With the arrival of the Pfizer vaccine, which has been approved for use in children 12 to 17, we now have the opportunity to vaccinate some school-age children. If a parent or guardian wishes their age-appropriate child to be vaccinated, they may make an appointment starting as early as Monday, the 16th of August. Parents will be required to fill out a consent form during the appointment-making process. Children 12 to 17 years of age must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian to the vaccination center. The parent or guardian will also be required to show an ID. A working group is being proposed as part of the Vaccine Consultative Committee to ensure ongoing access to the vaccine by both public and private school students. This working group will be made up of key stakeholders and representative groups. More information will become available on this initiative as the Ministry of Education prepares for the safe reopening of schools in the next few weeks. Currently, we are fortunate to have an adequate supply of COVID-19 vaccines. Now, we must significantly increase our vaccination rates, while at the same time, we must take personal responsibility and follow the public health measures. Over the course of the vaccination period, we continue to receive a number of questions that contribute to vaccine hesitancy. These include concerns about the fast-paced development of the vaccine, a risk of blood clots, harm to your genetic makeup, interference with fertility. All these concerns have been put to rest by scientific reports.
All right. Dr. Marceline Dal-Regis speaking at that press conference yesterday. Some very interesting things said there. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about all of these, the Pfizer rollout, the fact that, because we've been asking about it for weeks here. Do you recommend it? First dose AstraZeneca, second dose Pfizer. And she's saying now that will be available to those who are interested in that. And yeah, so that's happening. Johnson & Johnson is going to be enough for anybody. Almost everybody who wants one can get one. And the excuse that there weren't vaccines that can't use that for now. Will it make a difference? Will it make a difference? So far, you've been hearing about all these appointments are being made. A lot of people showing interest. But there's still that large voice out there from people who are very much opposed to this and are spreading some false narratives as well about vaccines and how there's all kinds of horrible rumors about insurance companies, and none of those are accurate at all. And it's just really a lot of nonsense out there. And if you want to see how messed up things are, just go on the page and read the comments from people. Some people clearly think this is an opportunity to express their comedic timing or comedic skills. I don't know what's going on. But a lot of people posting nonsense. And a lot of people posting complete garbage. Like, what's happening here? That is not true. That is unfounded. They've already disproven that. Are you still asking these questions? This is a question that initially people were talking about, but you're still here at almost the end of 2021. How could you be here? And I don't understand.
That's the thing, right?
Right?
That's the thing about the anti-vaxxers. It'd be okay if your position is simply, I don't want to take it. Here are my reasons. But then you start to spread the foolishness.
Oh, boy. And then I saw somebody posting some nonsense about, because that very powerful chart that Dr. Dal-Regis put up about hospital, they've been tracking it from March to the end of July. The number of people hospitalized, how many of them were not vaccinated, right? People with COVID. How many were partially vaccinated, and how nobody who's fully vaccinated had to be hospitalized. Not saying that people didn't get COVID who were fully vaccinated, but they weren't sick enough to require hospitalization. That's very significant. And then with the deaths, we've been hearing that as well for weeks now. The number of non-vaccinated, very large. Partially vaccinated, one person apparently. And nobody's died from COVID who's been vaccinated, fully vaccinated. And people talking nonsense about, charts can say anything. Like, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is wrong with you? You need to get the psychological help that you desperately need. Okay? Something is up. But keep your stuff to yourself. Keep that to yourself. But anyway, let's talk about what you heard from Dr. Dal-Regis. She's also saying that just over 50%, actually, Dr. Pearl McMillan, the chief medical officer, saying that 50% of healthcare workers are vaccinated. And they're very concerned about that. What's up with the healthcare workers, especially when we keep hearing about so many who are dying, nurses and doctors. A doctor just a few days ago, and I'm very sad to hear that. He went to school with me. He graduated a couple years after, and I'm just very saddened by it. But so many are not willing to get vaccinated. And I guess they are. The health professionals, health officials are perplexed as to what to do to convince them to do this. When the science is there, they've got the stats right there in the hospital. You can see it. But yet, All right.
It's all made up,
I guess. Let's hear what you have to say, folks. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, so let's do this again. More guideline conversations, because we can't continue to have the same talk every week, because it'll cause me to end up in the hospital, right? So if you don't want to hear the V word, you can't stand it, you don't believe this one, you don't like this, you don't like any of these, that's fine. I'm not saying we're trying to silence you, but we already know. You've said it. For how many weeks have we been in this? Since March 2020? You've said it from then, right? You had a problem. You didn't believe it was a real virus. You thought it was a little something, like a cold. It could go away. And now the vaccine is foolishness. You have a problem with that too. We have heard you. Thank you very much. Let's talk about what was discussed yesterday. The vaccine options, the mixing of the vaccines. Let's talk about that. We got it? Okay. We'll see. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Golly, this is Strachan voice along with you and Chester, Dwight.
Hi.
Let me finish my comment, okay?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Because you heard what I just said, right? So let's see.
I want you to be honest and just now, okay? Now, what I'm saying is, right? You listening?
Uh-huh.
The international people that's in authority, right? They're saying that if you get the vaccination, you still have to wear the mask because you still can give it to other people. If you get the vaccination.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what Doctor? What's her name is? What's her name?
Dr. Dal Regis?
Regis. She is not saying that.
She is.
Oh, she is?
She has said that. They all have said that.
They all have said. I haven't heard her say it. But my main point is, right? If I get a vaccination and I'm gonna still unable to go among my people, right? I don't see where it makes sense.
Yeah, because the people dying are not vaccinated. That's why it makes sense. And the people in the hospital are, for the most part, not vaccinated.
And also,
that's a very significant thing.
Also, I've heard the international people, right? The science people talked about how people, like if one were to be pregnant, right? It would cause, the baby to die and stuff like that, right?
What? What now?
It would cause a problem with people's pregnancy.
What would?
If the vaccination.
That's not what they're saying.
That's not what.
In fact, they're recommending now that pregnant women get vaccinated.
Say it again?
They are now recommending that pregnant women get vaccinated.
It's still confusing, Dwight.
Okay, unvaccinated people are the ones dying here.
Say it again?
Unvaccinated people are the ones dying. That's all you need to remember. Unvaccinated people are the ones dying. This person here. Dwight, your information is false. Fully vaccinated people are dying, probably not at a high rate, but as the unvaccinated, but they are dying. I know a few. You have to be careful what you say. I have to be careful what I say. Who are the people? They die in the Bahamas? Because in the Bahamas, they're saying that that's not been the case. Who do you know?
Also, did they die from COVID-19?
And that's also very important. Yeah? Okay. Bring us the information. Okay, this person here, go on,
You
Jester.
know, the point that he was making about the mask thing, the question, right? Yes, if you're fully vaccinated, you still have to wear a mask because, as was said, you can catch COVID-19 and you can spread COVID-19 even if you're fully vaccinated. The vaccine doesn't come to you, look at you and say, "Oh, this guy's vaccinated. Let me move on to the next person." That's not how it works. You know, you can still catch it, you can still be affected by it, but you know, you won't end up in the hospital. Is the point of this whole thing.
Exactly. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. This text here. There still will be dishonest people who can show and not indicating a first dose abroad and show up for 2 doses. Well, okay.
Do what now?
And they're worried about people who already got it abroad and come and try to get more here. Hey, yeah, I'm sure there will be a few of those. Well, we got a bigger problem.
People who want more to be injected more times?
It's going to be such a tiny number of people. These people don't even want to spell vaccine. We don't have to be too concerned, I suspect, of people just loaded up, overdosing on vaccine. Tiny group there, I'm sure. Okay. This one here, I'm hoping they don't botch this Pfizer and J&J vaccine rollout. Okay. Sure. We hope for a lot of things. I don't know why that's... This one says here, we're still missing data on the people who received 1 or 2 vaccines who've died for any reason. That data is very important. What part? What do you mean? They've said there have been a couple people who have died, right? Because they weren't fully vaccinated.
But they talked about the people who got 1 shot who've died.
Yeah. They said that you're
what is that
not
person
fully
talking
vaccinated. That's probably right. And you can't just go about like you are. And even if you are, as you've heard, you still need to be very careful where you congregate and that you wear your mask around people who aren't. Okay. Anyway, another one here. Just a few questions I hope someone can answer. How long have these recent vaccines been administered? What? How long have these recent vaccines been administered? Did you mean like created or something like that? What do you mean? I don't understand.
Maybe time to move on to the next.
Okay. How long have they been using 2 different vaccines on people? Okay. They've been doing some tests on, right? This came out a few months ago about, in fact, we asked this very early on once vaccines came, what would happen if you mixed? And there were studies being done, preliminary studies. So it's been just a few months. This one says, how can we determine long-term results if long-term has not happened yet? Hey, that's a good question. We all want to know that, right? But and this one here, it's unfair to call people anti-vaxxers. Some people really are. But they go on to say, people have genuine questions and concerns. People who have taken the vaccine have died, so stop making blanket statements that are not true. You're talking to the Ministry of Health then, is that what you're saying? And do you know anyone who was fully vaccinated who died? Tell us. Send their name. Tell us, please.
And did the medical professional decide that it was COVID-19 that they died from?
Yeah, you sure they weren't dying from cancer or some other disease? You sure? But yeah, if you know somebody fully vaccinated, got COVID, and died, you know this person, not what you heard, please let us know. Okay. This one here. I experienced firsthand over the weekend how serious the sick out at the healthcare by the healthcare workers really is. When my daughter got stung by a scorpion and the swelling became as big as a fist, and we refused to be seen by doctors at the Rand Memorial, I sympathize with them, but the 5 votes in my house will not be going to this government. How that last part happened? Okay.
They snuck that in there.
Well, my goodness gracious. Okay, were those nurses elected? Are they okay? Anyway, okay. Well, that's hey.
The government is the reason they sicken.
There you go. Okay. This one here, Dwight and Chester. Since there is a vaccine hesitancy amongst the healthcare professionals, it would be great for you to interview the president of the Nurses Association or healthcare professionals and get their take. They're very influential throughout the community. You think so? Sure. Good idea. All right.
It would be interesting to see how many in that 12 to 17 age bracket get the shot.
Yeah. We asked this last week, and not too many. Well, a few people said they don't want to experiment on the children. But here we go again. I want to ask how many of you are really considering this for your children to get vaccinated. We're hearing more and more children are with the Delta variant. Previously, have some sort of protection, right? They weren't suffering as much as adults were. But this seems to be different, and we're hearing more and more of children being hospitalized, children getting COVID, and children dying. Will this be different? Will you change your mind now on this? Want to hear from you on that. Call in or text us, tweet us, Facebook us, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us again. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Morning, Chester.
Good morning.
So I'm a healthcare worker. Both of y'all know me, so I think some of these stats we're getting are kind of bogus, and I'll tell you why. Some people say that 50% of healthcare workers aren't vaccinated. How do they know? I've been vaccinated from March of this year. I went to the States and got mine. All right? They have no way of registering me as a healthcare worker that got my vaccine. In fact, the government just started to register Bahamians in general who've been vaccinated outside of the bombs. And so, personally, for me, I know hundreds of my colleagues who have chose to go to the U.S. and get vaccinated. Some went to Turkey and got vaccinated. I mean, hundreds of them, all right? Because we didn't trust the rollout of the ministry. We didn't trust I think some of us didn't trust the ability of the WHO to actually supply the vaccines in the numbers that they said they would, which is exactly what's happening. So now we're getting Pfizer, thank God. So, I mean, to say that 50% of the people haven't been vaccinated, you can't make statements like that. You don't know. Because not a single person in healthcare, in the government, has asked me if I'm vaccinated. And where I got my vaccine from.
So you think it really is a much higher number of people?
That number is way higher.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, way higher than that. And I can tell you this because, again, I've been vaccinated from March. Okay? And I knew when I got fully vaccinated, a bunch of other people were vaccinated. I know our administrators who went away and got vaccinated. And we were fully vaccinated before the first vaccine ever hit.
Wow. But you are where you know this. There are many medical professionals, doctors and nurses who are out there saying they don't trust these vaccines and they don't want to take them.
Again, many is a relative term, okay? Sometimes the loudest doesn't mean the most.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are all going to be the naysayers are always going to be the loudest, okay? But I can tell you that I run a major department. The majority of my staff is vaccinated. Mm-hmm. Even my foreign workers are vaccinated. They came to me and said, "Doc, can you help us get the vaccine?" All right. So again, I don't know that I don't want people to use the excuse, well, the doctor and nurses aren't getting it, so I'm getting it. Because a lot of us that aren't in that WHO have gotten other vaccines from other places. I have family members who've gone away and gotten the J&J. They're not on the government list. Mm-hmm. All right? And so, you know how Bahamians are. Listen, we go to the States, everybody who's going to the States was getting vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And we were going to the States in droves, in numbers. So I think when we look at trying to collate all of those numbers together in healthcare, all right, I know for a fact that one of the two people in healthcare that I work with, if you tell me that one of every two isn't vaccinated, that's not true.
Wow.
Because the majority of people I work with are vaccinated, and I think that and that's not to knock the ministry. They have their stats. Okay, I don't want the public to be disconcerted or discouraged by people saying, "Hey, the healthcare workers aren't getting," because an overwhelming majority of us have it.
That's great.
Okay, we have it.
So
And the reason why we have it is because those of us who spent years studying healthcare know what vaccines in general can protect us from.
Yeah.
All right.
So
and somebody saying folk who talk, I don't know what's in it. And the long term effects, they know the long term effects of all this Chinese food they eating and the bamboo shot, but they still eating it.
Well, okay, let's not the brand, but sure. So what do you say to all these folks who have every excuse, or they are looking at things and not the charts are out there, but they're saying, "Oh, this could say anything. This isn't the truth." They're not believing anything that health professionals here are saying. What do you say to them?
I as a person, my response to them is stupidity is genetic. But as a professional, I got to say to them, if you're prepared to throw the numbers could mean anything, stocks could say anything, the scientists could say anything, then I'm not engaged in those persons anymore in conversation. That's like the folk who says to me, the thermometer says it's 98 degrees, but the thermometer could say anything.
Wow.
Like we have to get past this stuff. If people take it, and no matter what you tell them, they won't take it, then they deal with the consequences. And sometimes those consequences are going to have to be whether the government isn't putting down some consequences for public safety, all right, or if they decide that they're going to take their chances with this disease, and if they die, they die. We're at that point right now where this thing's been around for a year and 9 months, and there are people who will still look at you in the eye and tell you it's a hoax, it's Bill Gates, it's only the flu, and all this other foolishness. And I am done trying to convince people that water is wet. So, at this point now, let natural selection take its course, and we move from there. Because what else can we do, Dwight?
Oh boy,
what else can we do? This is you realize that the Tribune the other day had to publish extra obituaries.
Yeah,
that's where we're at. Okay, we're talking with the fact that we've been locked down and curfewed, and people still won't listen. They won't listen. All right, and we're at a place where enough to say, what do we do to save all of us? Okay, or you love yourself more than everybody else. You decide I'm going to do what I want to do. That's where we're at.
Yeah. So, okay, tell me right now, you up to this point, you still haven't let the government know officially that you are vaccinated?
No, I have.
Like you have.
The government has rolled out a vaccine registration program that said, if you've been vaccinated elsewhere, upload your card and everything else. And it's with the travel visas. When I travel, it's all locked in there. What I'm saying is that form does not designate me as a healthcare worker. It just designates me as Joe Blow who has a vaccine.
Yeah.
Okay? I think if they asked where people work and those sort of things, they would find out that an overwhelming majority of healthcare workers have gotten that vaccine elsewhere.
Interesting. And I've heard some people say they aren't going to tell the government that they are vaccinated abroad. They don't feel
well, I mean, that's just stupid. I can't. I mean, I you know me. I have a wide vocabulary, right? But stupid is the best way I can describe that. Because what could possibly be the reason for you to hide that you've been vaccinated? All right? When vaccination itself gives you access and some other things that non-vaccination has. So I mean, but people's mistrust of government itself is an issue. Some of it may be well earned in terms of governance across the board, globally, not just in the Bahamas. People just don't trust government. But I have no reason to say, hey man, vaccinated. We hope that people will share that information, because those are the things that will help folk who go out and make public statements be more accurate. And the accuracy is important. And again, I'm not calling to knock anybody for making a statement. They're making a statement based on the information they have. We need to diversify how we're asking an information find ways to make it, to stratify it, to make sure it speaks to what it is we actually need to say, so that the stored information have less of it to distort.
Yeah. So this is an interesting text here. And what do you support this? Somebody's saying here that if I need medical care, I'm going to ask the doctor to show me his vaccination card. You support that?
I mean, depends on what kind of medical care you need. Yeah, if I sprain my ankle or break an arm, I want to know who's treating me is vaccinated too, and I'm in healthcare. Right now, if I'm suffering a heart attack or I need mouth to mouth, if I need mouth to mouth, you got COVID, you got to give me mouth to mouth, then we got to figure that out later. So everything's relative. But I think if people do start demanding some accountability across the board, I mean, think about this. They're demanding to see your vaccination card for you to sit in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So what's the difference between somebody saying, if you're giving me healthcare service, I want to know that you're vaccinated?
Yeah, interesting. Huh? I really appreciate you calling in. I do know who this is. I appreciate it.
But listen, man, you guys got to keep pushing the narrative, and also it's time for the media, allowing people to use them to give voice to the sense about the stuff and spreading stuff. I mean, I'm not saying we have to have censorship, but I think sometimes we allow, again, the loudest to have the platforms and to spew stuff that really in a lot of ways hurts the general public. You got to understand the general public, for a lot of folks, they want information, they get an information overload, and we need to be able to say these are the credible things and people, and these are the things that aren't credible. And if you're still saying COVID ain't real now, you don't deserve a platform.
Yeah.
You just don't deserve a platform. And I got friends who are like that. I love them forever, but they just don't deserve a platform.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going against established science.
We got to have you on the show. I'll call you and set up a time for you to come in. Yeah?
No problem, my brother.
All right, sounds good.
You take it easy, man.
All right.
You too, man.
All right, take care. We're going to take a break, and we'll get back with your messages. I really appreciate the call. Thank you very much, Doc. And messages and more on that press conference from yesterday. After the break, this is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Chaos in Kabul, Afghanistan. U.S. soldiers evacuating Americans from the airport in Kabul have fired warning shots as Afghans rush the tarmac and try to get onto planes. They are running from the Taliban, which now controls pretty much the entire country. Here's the AP's Karen Shamas.
Videos circulating the internet show scenes of hundreds of people racing across the tarmac in panic at Hamid Karzai International Airport as they try to flee the country. The U.S. Embassy has been evacuated and the American flag lowered, relocating to the airport to aid with the evacuation. I'm Karen Chamas.
Many Afghans are hiding in their homes as the Taliban deploys fighters at major intersections in Kabul. Retired U.S. Marine William B. calls this heartbreaking. He did 4 deployments in Afghanistan.
With them pulling us out the way that happened, that left a void for the Taliban to come rush in and punish anybody who ever helped us or, provided us any form of information.
Former U.S. Marine William B. Will you get a COVID booster shot? NIH Director Francis Collins says the decision on whether to offer booster shots to Americans this fall may come in the next couple of weeks. Tropical Storm Fred is in the Gulf of Mexico and could make landfall by this evening along the Florida Panhandle. The main threats from Fred are rainfall, anywhere from 4 to 8 inches for Florida's Big Bend and Panhandle, and storm surge. Tropical Depression Grace could cause flooding and mudslides for Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Haiti is all the effects of a 7.2 magnitude earthquake. It's blamed for nearly 1,300 deaths. This is AP News. Did you go to the movies over the weekend? The AP's Margie Zarletta with what's big at the box office.
The Ryan Reynolds action comedy Free Guy was the top draw at the box office over the weekend.
My name is Guy, and I live in free city.
Free Guy brought in an estimated $28.4 million in ticket sales in its debut weekend, which is pretty good in the COVID-19 era. What made it significant is that, unlike a lot of movies lately, it was only released to theaters, no streaming. Reynolds has already said Disney wants a Free Guy sequel. Don't Breathe 2 made its debut this weekend in second with $10.6 million in sales. Jungle Cruise was third, and the Aretha Franklin film Respect was in fourth. I'm Archie Zaraletta.
About 60% of the U.S. population has now gotten at least one COVID shot. Nearly 51% are fully vaccinated. That's according to the CDC. 90 million Americans are still unvaccinated. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
Time for Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. In your real-time traffic this morning, we've got Smile Butler Highway. You're going to see that traffic the closer you get to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. So just as you pass Harold Pond there, you'll notice that in the northbound lanes. Gladstone Road also busy. Blue Hill Road just north of Soldier Road, the northbound lanes to Independence Drive. You're going to see heavy traffic there and building traffic near Carmichael and Blue Hill at that junction. Elsewhere, we are seeing some pockets of building traffic, but nothing that you won't be able to handle. We'll have another real-time report for you just after the 8 o'clock news. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined. We've got another check of your weather for today. We've got a tropical wave that will support a few showers and thunderstorms across the country as it migrates westward, and a tightening pressure gradient between high pressure north of the area and that tropical depression Grace now just south of the islands. That's going to generate fresh to strong breezes across the southeast and central Bahamas through tonight. For the northwest Bahamas today, look for partly sunny and warm conditions with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, becoming fair tonight with a few passing showers possible, gusty winds and higher sea showers. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, warm, and breezy with quick passing showers and the chance of a few isolated thunderstorms, becoming breezy to windy tonight with isolated showers and thunderstorms possible. Small craft caution in effect, and advisory will come into effect tonight. Temperature-wise, look for highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index is going to be high in the triple digits, 101 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activity and to remain hydrated. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that tight pressure gradient between high pressure north of the area and Grace in the Caribbean will generate strong east to southeast winds across the islands as the system passes south of the Bahamas. Well south now. We are relieved about that. So for Tuesday, tomorrow, variably cloudy and breezy to windy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Wednesday, partly cloudy and breezy with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. So in the tropics, we're monitoring three areas. We've got a tropical storm in the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, moving north-northwest near 9 miles per hour. It's going to be an issue for the Gulf Coast states. Then we've got Grace, a tropical depression located just south of Hispaniola, moving west-northwest near 15 miles per hour. And then we've got Tropical Depression 8, just to the east of Bermuda, moving south at 5 miles per hour. Now, none of these systems are going to pose a threat to the Bahamas at this time, so that's good news. Elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 5 days. So that's your Morning Blend weather check. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Be prepared for the rainy season with an RBC loan to fund your rainy season essentials. For hurricane shutters, generators, solar power systems, or general home repair, RBC offers a range of flexible and competitive financing solutions. Let us help you get started at rbc.com/Caribbean/get-a-loan. Special conditions apply. Reimagine your rainy season readiness with RBC financing.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Many people wonder, what makes Boost Academy unique? Maybe it's our 8-to-1 student-staff ratio, the emphasis we place on student individuality, our focus on numeracy, literacy, and creating better citizens by sharpening students' critical thinking skills. One of our many talented teachers, program facilitators, and mentors. Or just maybe it is our commitment to taking full responsibility for your child's education, no hidden fees or costs. Regardless of what it is, let us help your child reach their full potential. Boost Academy is currently enrolling students of grades 4 through 12. Visit www.boostbahamas.com to apply now.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations, unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value today. Visit any BTC store or btcbahamas.com. Conditions apply.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Boy, let me tell you something. I know, but boy, I have a clue someday, you know what? I know you know. But I can tell you one thing. I'm watching it up. But I'm telling you. What's on my bread? Woman, man, this can be true. What's on my bread? What's on my bread? To get treated like this from you. What's on my bread? Say, why me? What's on my bread? What the hell I do to she? What's on my bread? What gonna cheat on me? What's on my bread? Ooh, baby, ooh, what's on my bread? I say Saturday and Sunday.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. We are talking about what's in the news, getting your reaction to the press conference yesterday from the Ministry of Health. And a great call just now from one of our friends, a doctor, and putting it bluntly, and saying that we've got to stop encouraging these conversations with people who just are never going to budge on their positions, and the damage that is doing to other folks who are genuinely concerned and have real questions and are confused. Some of you seem to agree. Here's a text. Dwight, please read my text, because although I'm not as polite as you, I am not disrespectful to others. Oh boy, okay. If I am truthful, I can care less about others' feelings. I love that caller. I have been telling you that those who don't wish to be vaccinated, it's cool if they get sick. Let them die. And we need to stop feeling for them. Don't lock me down to save them. Okay. Well, if it were an individual thing, then maybe. But this is very contagious, and so they're going to bring down lots of other people as well. Maybe children who were not able to be vaccinated, right? Or people who have other issues and can't take the vaccine.
That's the worrisome part. Yeah.
Right. So we just can't say, well, let them, right, as the caller put it, natural selection. We can't just say that. We do need to encourage them to see that your fears here are mostly unfounded. But Oh boy. Okay. A lot of the text messages. Let's see how quickly we can get through these. Someone says here, it's amazing how the confused people love to call into your show. Maybe if they talked less and listened more, they could understand better. Yes. Yes, indeed. Please repeat those stats a couple more times every hour, please. We appreciate you and a true Bahamian brother. Okay. Thank you very much. I wish they'd understand. It's the non-vaccinated people who are dying and are in the hospital. Fully vaccinated people aren't dying here. And they're not in the hospital. Not from COVID. Not from COVID. Okay. My goodness gracious. Okay. This one here, this vaccine misinformation is revealing the depth of the... Okay, so I keep telling you all, let's stop with the D-average talk, right? And again, I just thought about it over the weekend. The next time someone says, I'm going to ask you to reveal your grades to us in high school, how you did on the GCE or the BGCSE. Okay? Is that fair? Anyway, they're saying that people are not understanding this simple communication. Yes, something is wrong. Something is not connecting. Not too sure what's happening. And I might want to recommend the Office of the Departments to disable the comment section on their press conferences. 'Cause it's just a clown show. And it's very sad. But anyway, this one here says, you don't need any GCEs to get vaccinated. Why do some of our people learn to read? Why don't they learn to read, I guess they're saying. People are dying who are not fully vaccinated. It's either you get vaccinated or you risk dying. It's that simple. You would think. Another one here. We need to watch any cases of people dying who've received vaccination. This falls in line with and first do no harm. This is not about COVID, but about how the vaccine is interacting with the Bahamian population. Those cases have to be monitored carefully to confirm the deaths had no correlation to the administration of the vaccine. I'm surprised no one has said anything about it, even if it is to say that no one who's received any dose has died. Well, they are saying that things are under investigation. They do say those things, right? And there's often that. So it's not... Anyway, let's break for the news. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Ferguson, thanks so much for tuning in. Topping the news. Data from the Vaccine Consultative Committee makes clear this latest surge in COVID-19 cases is being driven by the unvaccinated. According to that data, there were no fully vaccinated persons listed among the hundreds of cases of deaths and hospitalizations recorded at the Princess Margaret Hospital between March and the end of July this year. Georgia Bain has more.
Chairman of the National COVID-19 Vaccine Committee, Dr. Mercelin Dalregis, stressing the importance of vaccinations during this vaccine update. In a slide presentation, Dalregis showing COVID hospitalizations between March 14th and July when people were admitted. 400 were unvaccinated, 11 partly vaccinated, and none were fully vaccinated. During that period, there were 53 recorded COVID deaths. 52 were unvaccinated, and 1 was partially vaccinated. Infectious disease expert Dr. Nakia Forbes confirming that to date, no fully vaccinated persons have died from COVID-19. Extra steps are being taken to determine if additional variants are in country.
We are now experiencing a significant increase in new cases, in the number of hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19 at a time where there is increased travel to and from the Bahamas. Genomic surveillance has identified samples with a predominance of the Alpha variant co-circulating with others in the Bahamas. We are now awaiting the results from 100 samples taken in July and August and sent this weekend to the Fiocruz Research Laboratory.
The vaccination program is expected to be ramped up in the coming weeks. The goal is to vaccinate over 60,000 Bahamians in the next 6 weeks.
Today, I'm pleased to report that the Bahamas has been notified that in this coming week, it will receive 34,400 doses of the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. With our current supplies and the vaccines that are in the pipeline, we now have an opportunity to significantly accelerate our vaccination program.
An assessment of the administration of the Pfizer vaccine will begin on a selected group of adults and children over the age of 12 on Monday, while the public will be able to get the Pfizer vaccine as of Thursday. The Pfizer rollout for Grand Bahama is scheduled for August 23rd.
On Thursday, the 19th of August, we will begin administering the Pfizer vaccine to the general public at the Kendall G.L. Isaacs Gymnasium. The Kendall Isaacs Gym Vaccination Center will be the only site administering the Pfizer vaccine on Thursday and Friday this week. The public may begin booking appointments Monday, August the 16th, starting at 3 p.m.
There is a 21 to 28 day period in between the two jabs. If you've already started the vaccination process with the AstraZeneca vaccine but wish to switch to the Pfizer vaccine, that is also being accommodated. Dal Regis encouraging parents to make vaccine appointments for children between the ages of 12 and 17, as she stressed that school students will require the country prepares to reopen schools for the fall semester.
School children need to be protected to facilitate safe in-person learning. Previously, only teachers and school staff were eligible to receive the vaccine. With the arrival of the Pfizer vaccine, which has been approved for use in children 12 to 17, we now have the opportunity to vaccinate some school-age children.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
Well, the push continues to get more frontline healthcare workers vaccinated. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Pearl McMillan says just over half have now stepped up to be inoculated.
It's just over 50% of our healthcare workers that are actually immunized. I did a cross-check. It was just 20% of the 60-plus age group, and it's 50% of our healthcare workers that are already immunized. We have a long ways to go, and certainly there is grave concern as it relates to getting healthcare workers vaccinated. And we must, colleagues, become vaccinated.
With a local doctor among the latest COVID-related casualties, Dr. Dal Regis appealed to her medical colleagues to get vaccinated and protect those around them.
We have 3 unvaccinated healthcare workers, 2 physicians and a nurse, who are currently hospitalized with COVID-19. Prior to coming here, I was informed of the death of an unvaccinated physician who died of COVID-19. I wish to express my condolences to the physician's family. And I say to my professional health colleagues, in our profession, we practice according to the science of medicine. We know now that there is no scientific merit to claims that the vaccine is unsafe. It is the responsible role of healthcare professionals to become vaccinated and not to put themselves in jeopardy, nor infect their families and loved ones.
Well, despite the current COVID surge, that sick out by some healthcare workers extended into day 4 yesterday. Officials at the Public Hospitals Authority confirmed staff shortages in laboratory services and the radiology department led to delays in service. We're told measures were taken to mitigate the staff shortages where possible, but the PHA is recommending that the public access services at PMH and grant at a later date. Bahamas Public Service Union President Kimsley Ferguson has suggested those workers are upset about who received honorariums and who did not. The PHA has said not all workers qualified for those payments, but that more honorariums will be disbursed after the August payroll. Pinewood MP Reuben Ramming is recounting how he and his wife were robbed at gunpoint in front of their home Friday night. In a Facebook Live post, he said they had just left a constituency meeting and that the attack occurred as he pulled into his yard moments before his wife was due to arrive.
I pulled in the yard in an unusual position, and I decided to continue my conversation and wait in the car until she comes. At that moment, while I was on a conversation with the constituent, I noticed in my rearview mirror that a man started coming into my yard at a crouch position. When I stood up, the car was a smaller built man than me. Obviously, he saw my height and size, and he cocked his automatic pistol and instructed me to, get on the ground, etc., etc. Consciously knowing that my wife was going to be right behind me, I wanted the matter to get over with very quickly, so I tried to be as accommodating as I can. The second man came out with his as well, but I'm trying to get him out of the yard as quickly as possible. But my wife pulled up in the car, blah, 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 no threat, blah, 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 trying to calm them down. And they accosted her in the car. We calmly did it. I told her, lay on the ground next to me, and they left.
Ramming said the gunman made off with their mobile devices and other personal items, but that after they left, he calmly walked inside and used his tablet to track the location of his phone and pass that information on to police when they arrived. In that same Facebook video, Ramming could be seen digging through a garbage bin, retrieving what he said was his wife's purse, passport, and other personal effects believed dumped by the attackers. In other news, government says no diplomatic staff was at the Bahamian embassy in Haiti when that devastating earthquake hit Saturday. The Ministry of Finance says they have now contacted the local embassy staff, as well as Bahamians who are in that country, and all are reported to be well. In extending condolences for the 700-plus lives lost there, government says it stands ready with the CARICOM community to extend whatever assistance Haiti may need. The rescue and recovery effort in that country is facing another challenge, the threat of Tropical Storm Grace, which could hit that country as early as tonight. Stay with us. There's more news after the
Summer is here, and Shell presents a summer of fun. Win $30,000 in prizes when you spend $20 in fuel at any Shell location, now through September 10th. Experience incredible hotel stays in and Nassau. Win thousands of dollars in fuel, groceries, and electronic devices. Fuel up today and submit your receipts by WhatsApp, email, and Facebook. Follow us on Facebook for more chances to win with Shell. Terms and conditions apply.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations, unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value. Upgrade or sign up today. Visit any BTC store or btcbahamas.com. Conditions apply.
When does a simple meal become exceptional? You guessed it, when it's made the fresh market way. We're talking exquisite cuts of fresh meat, succulent fresh seafood options, the best in fresh produce, and who can forget our exotic spices and herbs? Come on, get ready to shake up your taste buds and let our aisles inspire your inner food genius. Homemade salted caramel ice cream, egg noodle stir fry, time to walk and roll. Slow smoked beef ribs, oh baby! Remember, go fresh and craft delicious.
Introducing the new Slices and Sticks from Little Caesars, an unexpected combination. 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, 8 Italian cheese sticks, and 1 crazy sauce, only for $9. Didn't expect that one, right? Grab the new Slices and Sticks at Little Caesars Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, or East Street South in the Pineapple Plaza. That's 4 slices of pepperoni pizza, 8 Italian cheese sticks, and 1 crazy sauce, all for only $9. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
At Master Technicians, we have what your family traditions need, starting with industry-best refrigerators, ranges, and ovens. We also carry Whirlpool washer and dryers, dishwashers and freezers, leading KitchenAid countertop appliances, blenders, microwaves, juicers, kettles, and KitchenAid stand mixers. We even do free delivery in New Providence or to the boat of your choice. Whether you're doing the laundry, creating new memories in the kitchen, or spending family time in front of the television, Master Technicians Limited, keeping family traditions alive for more than 50 years.
I've been at my Penny the other day, and Penny said, Lampkin, you know I really don't like to brag, but when I look at this showroom, I realize this is the best around. What do you say? I say, your modesty is mind-blowing. The lighting in Pendy's showroom is amazingly even and bright. It really allows you to see the tiles, whether they be ceramic, porcelain, marble, quartz, or granite. Pendy's displays allow you to see the product uncluttered by a gazillion pieces. If you'd like to see clearly what you plan to walk on for the rest of your life, may I suggest you visit Pendy Tile on Prince Charles Drive.
Be outright prepared this hurricane season.
Here's a preparedness tip from Bob. Kids entertainment. Not our first priority when thinking of preparing for a storm, but definitely a good idea to consider of power outages and loss of telecommunications during a major weather event. Cell phone and tablet batteries will only last so long. What will you use then to occupy the kids in the event of a prolonged outage, or if you need to take cover in a shelter? It's a good idea to have your children's favorite books, non-electronic games, and puzzles packed in a waterproof container and ready to go just in case. You can thank us later. Be outright prepared this hurricane season. Follow UseBop on Facebook for more helpful tips.
Welcome back. An historian recently traveled to Ghana to investigate the origins of Junkanoo. His findings clarified some misconceptions and will be featured in 2 books currently in the works. Jared Higgs has the story.
Many people know the name John Canoe and consider it the source of the name Junkanoo. But who is John Canoe? Historian Christopher Davis set off to Ghana to find out more.
And he was actually not a slave trader, but he was a warrior and a prince from an area known today as Ahanta West region in Ghana. And you know, we always got this narrative that the British gave us this parade and the British did this and the British did that, and we actually celebrating.
All over the region, there are different carnivals and Junkanoo celebrations that Davis says have their origins in Africa. John Canoe or John Kwao. Over in Ghana, they have a celebration known as the Fancy Dress Festival. And you guessed it.
When I do lessons with kids, I show them all pictures of the Fancy Dress Festival, and I ask them which one is John Canoe. And they pointing at these ones, but all are actually of the Fancy Dress Festival, and that's how similar it is.
Davis and his fiancée were moved by their trip to Ghana, which took them through several historic cities and sites. He also learned many lessons while embarking on his research. Though the Bahamas has one of the most sophisticated Junkanoo festivals in the Caribbean, the festival is shared among Africans. He says the connections reveal themselves in many ways.
When I looked at places like Jamaica, Guyana, Suriname, of course, they all have their beliefs. They all have their different commemorations of Junkanoo, right? In some way, shape, or form, Belize has a play. Furthermore, when you look at the national heroes, if you will, of these nations, of course, Jamaica has some of the most famous ones, Queen Nani and Captain Cujo. Captain Cujo founded a town that's known today as Trelawney Town. And that's actually where Lyndon Oscar Pillin's father came from. So you see how there's a Khan revolutionary spirit.
Davis says he had to search the history books to find the Bahamas' revolutionary hero. He says that hero, Kwamina, has been relegated to a footnote. He points out that the origin of Junkanoo is steeped in Africa and the Caribbean's own struggles against slavery and European colonialism.
Junkanoo actually represents a move of defiance against these absolutely brutal colonial systems in contemporary Bahamian history.
Davis is working on 2 books where he will detail his research on the origins of Junkanoo. He tells us in his own words why the work he does is important.
History is our most unifying force. We all know that we have issues with unity and things that in our nation can be very polarizing at times, especially politics, but history is the one thing that unifies all people, and that's why it's so important.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Jared Higgs.
That's going to do it for local news. Stay with us. AP News is next.
At Apex Award Signs and Engraving, the name says it all. The country's trusted name for trophies, plaques, corporate seals, rubber stamps, badges, bumper stickers, traffic and street signs, keychains, t-shirts, interior signs, restaurant menus, and so much more. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 128 Mount Royal Avenue in Wilton Street. Open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturdays. Visit the website at apexawardsbahamas.com. Apex Award Signs and Engraving, number 1 in the Bahamas.
Your big day coming, what you want?
I know, but you ain't too far behind, eh? Anyhow, I want Junior to give me washing machine.
Washing machine? What you want washing machine for?
Well, since Junior working on the island now and 3 people got to use your car, I figure we could wash right here.
You got line, eh?
Not yet.
And if you wash here, what we can talk about?
That's true.
If you wash here, how we can catch capsaicin?
That's true, eh?
And if you ain't got no line, how we post to dry if you wash here?
That's true.
Okay, so what you want Junior get you again?
$1,600 worth of tokens. That's how much the washing machine costs.
Now you're talking, and I'll reserve the car for every Saturday.
Gone for that. So what you want for your big day?
Half of them token.
My lord.
Summer wash. We washes you, cleans you, presses you 24/7.
It's a perfect day to enjoy the wonderful specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15 ounce, 99 cents. Rainbow Tuna, 5 ounce, 69 cents. Super Value Purified or Alkaline Water, 5-gallon size, $4.99. Chicken leg quarters, 10-pound bag, 99 cents per pound. Green cabbages, 79 cents per pound. Working hard every day to keep your prices down. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Reggie gone to Sunrise one day and tell Miss Wallace, I need a band for my watch, please. Miss Wallace say, Reginald, do have a seat and we'll be with you in a minute. He say, well, you just suffer from this two. She say, suffer from what? He say, this. She say, oh, that. Well, I tries to tailor make my service system to fit the needs of all of my customers. Reggie get excited. He say, that's amazing. I get a couple of more watches I could bring them to you tomorrow. She say, Reggie, I'll be here from 9 o'clock in the morning.
Sun Isles Watch and Clock, number 112 Montrose Avenue. Watch and clock sales and repairs for over 40 years.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
When I had got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. Within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. It's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Stay connected. Push to talk connected from Cable Bahamas. Buy 5 push to talk devices and get 1 free. Stay connected with your crew wherever, whenever. Buy 5, get 1 free. Push to talk from Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. Service provided by Alive. Believe in best. For more information, email businesssolutions@cablebahamas.com or call 601-8911. Limited time offer. Stipulations apply. This drop.
Welcome back to Morning Blend. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:22, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got a tropical wave that will support a few showers and thunderstorms across the area as it migrates westward today. Meanwhile, a tight pressure gradient between the high pressure north of the area and tropical depression Gray south of the islands. That's going to generate fresh to strong breezes across the southeast and central Bahamas through tonight. For today, for the northwest Bahamas, your forecast calls for partly sunny and warm conditions with a slight with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Becoming fair tonight with a few passing showers possible. Gusty winds and higher seas expected in showers and thunderstorms. Slight risk for waterspout and funnel cloud activity in showers and thunderstorms as well. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, warm, and breezy with quick passing showers and the chance of a few isolated thunderstorms today. Breezy to windy tonight with isolated showers and thunderstorms possible. Beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents along east and south coast beaches. For boaters, the small craft caution is in effect in the southeast and central Bahamas, and an advisory will come into effect tonight. Temperature-wise, look for highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like 101 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, over the next few days, a tight pressure gradient that we've been telling you about between high pressure north of the area and tropical depression Grace will generate strong east to southeast winds across the islands as the system passes to the south of the Bahamas. So for tomorrow, Tuesday, we're looking at variably cloudy and breezy to windy conditions with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Wednesday, partly cloudy and breezy with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. In the tropics are very active. We are watching 3 areas. We've got Tropical Storm Fred, now in the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, moving north-northwest near 9 miles per hour. Then we've told you about Grace, now a tropical depression just south of Hispaniola, moving west-northwest near 15 miles per hour. And then there's a tropical depression, number 8, just east of Bermuda, moving south at 15 miles per hour. Thankfully, none of the systems expected to be a threat to the Bahamas. And elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 5. But that is your morning blend weather check brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. What's first for you comes first for us. Got another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. In your real-time traffic, we've got heavy traffic on Gladstone Road, northbound. The closer you get to JFK Drive, you'll be noticing that about midway between Fire Trail and JFK this morning. There's also Mile Butler Highway. Just as you get north of Harold Pond, you'll notice that heavy traffic in the northbound lanes to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. And Blue Hill Road, just north of Soldier Road, you'll be seeing that heavy traffic in the northbound lanes, heading up to Independence Drive. Some building traffic at the junction of Blue Hill and Carmichael Road as well. Elsewhere, we've got just some pockets at some of the major thoroughfares. We've got Robinson Road as you approach East Street between Robinson and the Independence Drive East-West Highway roundabout is pretty busy, especially northbound. And then Soldier Road near Old Trail is busy. Near Nassau Christian Academy. Are they back in today? I believe they might be, so keep that in mind as we're seeing lots of traffic in that area, as that school often opens early. All right. And then there's Prince Charles Drive, Prince Charles and Beatrice, and that's going to be your major hotspot there. So that's what we're looking at. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank, banking reimagined.
Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see ya. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see ya. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time. I got a new dance, hot like pepper pot, from the old to the young. Make your body rock. It's really easy, easy peasy. You can do it anywhere. Jump around around and let me see your boom pineapple wine.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Chester Robards. In a few minutes, we're going to be talking with the U.S. Embassy about their donation of Pfizer vaccine to the country. That's coming up in just a few. We continue to talk about what's in the news, talk about the press conference from yesterday, the announcement of the big rollout of vaccine options, that you'll be able to make your appointments for Pfizer this week, and that Johnson & Johnson doses are expected in this week as well. And getting a reaction to that press conference yesterday, and that interesting call we had from a doctor earlier. And so we implore the Ministry of Health, the government has to do something to find out a way to really determine who's getting vaccinated abroad, right? If that's what they're saying, that the questionnaire they've developed is very vague, it doesn't tell you which sectors you're in, then that would really make a big difference to a lot of people if they're hearing that maybe it was the vaccine that was here that was the issue for some people, and they went abroad and took something else, and maybe that number is a lot higher, as the doctor is saying, of the number of healthcare workers who are vaccinated now. 'Cause a lot of people are using that as their excuse for not getting vaccinated. Their doctor, or they heard a doctor say this and that, and so, yep. What do you make of that, folks? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Chester's still there with us, right?
I'm here.
Yeah, okay. And Chester's filling in, if you're just tuning in, filling in for Pam, who's on vacation still. All right. Let's get some more of your messages in, your text messages. Someone says here, what is the percentage of people who died from COVID that had underlying conditions? That would be good to know. Probably most.
Yeah,
that's what they've been telling you from day one. That's what they've been saying. And that's most of the people, underlying conditions. So, okay. Another one here. There's no one. Oh, see, this is the same foolishness here. The same. Oh, my God. There's no one dying from anything else, it seems. If they have cancer, they classify it as COVID. That's foolishness. Stop it. Another one. Has any of the sciences or medical officials said why all of a sudden children are getting COVID and need to be vaccinated? They're suggesting it may be the Delta variant, which is much more virulent than what we've been seeing before. It's different in how it's attacking people, and children are now at risk as well. Okay. Another one here. Do you get the feeling that enforcement of the COVID violators appears to be a lot more relaxed? I observed law enforcement officers not even bothering to stop while driving by a bar that clearly exceeded the allowed capacity, and very few were wearing masks. Do you think if enforcement was ramped up, it would impact our cases? Pro or anti-vaxxers alike don't want money taken out of their pockets. That is interesting. That's been a lot of people have been concerned about it over the past few weeks. They know the hotspots that seem to be immune to any type of COVID police raids, and many are wondering what's going on there. Many are wondering. But hey, what's up with the people who are going? Right? You know that you're putting yourself at risk, right? Even if you are vaccinated, to be here in a place that is so congested. So, again, personal responsibility as well. And we know we all are tired. We all want to get out. We all want to mingle and have fun. But, Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Ron, how are you?
Doing well.
My name is James Butler. I am not getting any vaccination. I'm not going to take any of that. The Almighty God, He give man choices, and He took a force somebody to against their will. So with the vaccine, you can't force somebody if they don't want to take it. That's their choice. But like I said, I'm not taking any.
Okay.
Have a blessed and safe day.
Okay, you too. I hope you are safe. Okay, great.
No, nobody's being forced, though.
Okay. Someone says here, how How many people died from a vaccine injury? What now? Also, government. What does that mean?
You mean from the vaccine itself?
Also, the government does. The government does know who's, and a few died. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How do you know that? How do you know they know? And how do you know that that's what happened? Do you know anyone? That's what we've been asking. A lot of people saying this. Who do you know? Come forward. Tell us. Tell us the name. Let's investigate. We want to know. This person says, perfectly well persons have taken the vaccine and died shortly after from massive heart attacks. How do you know the vaccine didn't indirectly bring on the heart attack or some other condition? Okay. So this person wasn't at risk for a heart attack before they got vaccinated. The vaccine made them. Okay, that's what you're saying. Interesting. Okay. Why are we mixing vaccines? This is creating possible problems in the future. How do you know that? How do you know that it is? They're testing. They're doing studies on it. They've been doing studies for the past few months. And there is a study. Dr. Dowry just mentioned it. We saw that weeks ago. We talked about it on the show. That showed that in some regards and in fighting various variants, AstraZeneca, first dose, followed by the second dose being Pfizer, can be, in some cases, more effective than AstraZeneca, followed by AstraZeneca. I can pull up the study and read it. I think I tweeted that a few weeks back. They did that study in some regards, and it said it promotes a response followed by AstraZeneca, or even Pfizer followed by AstraZeneca. But AstraZeneca followed by Pfizer had a very interesting and very effective response, possibly better than AstraZeneca followed by AstraZeneca. That was a study. Okay. This one says here, Dwight, the vaccine pushers assume that people who are hesitant about taking the vaccine are ignorant. Most people don't understand the science, both vaccinated and unvaccinated. This vaccine push is almost religious. Are there any other vaccines that let you spread the virus? I'm sure there are. People who take the flu vaccine can get the flu as well. And that means they can spread it. That means they can spread it. So, yeah, it happens. All vaccines don't work the same way. Right? All right. Let's take one more call, and then we're going to get to our guest. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Glenn. How are you?
Doing well.
That's great. That's great. I am just like that last caller. I am not taking no vaccine. Okay? Ain't no politician to get reelected, all right?
Well, how would that
why I say that? Sorry?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did you even get there?
So how did I get there?
To a politician, you're talking about the vaccine.
Yes, I went to that because that's my opinion. If you listen to how they talking, they saving lives. Okay, that's what they say. Don't forget now. There's an appointed time once for man to die. Okay, 2 years ago, this was not in existence. So how come all of a sudden he's saving my life? Huh? See, Afghanistan has got what it's got. India has got what it's got. Anybody want him with a vaccine around there? You see, y'all got to stop putting people in fear that they may live.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hey, Chester, how was your vacation a few weeks ago? I haven't had a vacation since November of 2020.
Sounds like you need one, huh?
It sounds like I need one. Oh, you better believe it. Wow. Okay. Let's go to our from the U.S. Embassy here in Nassau. We're very pleased to welcome back to the show Daniel Durazo. Daniel, good morning.
Hey, Dwight. Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well. Hope you are as well.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Doing okay, all things considered.
Okay. All right. We're having an interesting morning here. But let's talk about this. This is the donation last week. This was big news, and this is, many are saying, a game changer. Now we have sufficient vaccines for anybody, any and everybody who wants to get vaccinated. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the U.S.'s donation of 128,700 doses of Pfizer vaccine.
Yes, indeed. And Dwight, first of all, I just wanted to say thanks, as always, for having me on your show, for giving us an opportunity to come on here and talk about how the U.S. and the Bahamas are working together. And before I talk about the vaccine delivery, I just wanted to start by expressing the embassy's condolences to the Bahamas on the passing of former Governor General Arthur Hanna. Of course, I don't have to remind anybody that he was, a towering figure in the history of the Bahamas. And he was also a very close contact of the embassy for many years. This was obviously before I came to the Bahamas, but I know from my other colleagues in the embassy that he, attended 4th of July events and celebrated our shared history and our shared democratic values. And his passing was a huge loss to the Bahamas. And I just wanted your audience to know that we mourn with you on his passing.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you.
Of course. In terms of the vaccines, I mean, what can I say? Last Thursday was a great day. I think our Chargé put it well when she said, today is a wonderful day. And we're just really, really proud to have worked so closely with the Bahamian government to bring such a large shipment of vaccines to the Bahamas. And it was just an honor for me personally to have worked as a part of that effort and to make that a reality. And it was especially gratifying just to see so many different pieces come together, because it wasn't just the 128,700 vaccines, as you just mentioned. It was also, the logistics of bringing them in, and the freezers and the equipment needed to properly store and distribute vaccines like the Pfizer vaccine. Those 4 freezers were delivered on July 28th, and along with another shipment of equipment that you need in order to handle sub-zero temperature materials. And it reminds me who the real heroes are, which is the scientists and the doctors who develop these technologies, who develop the studies to make sure that these things work, that they're safe and effective, and that they can save human lives at a time like this.
Yeah, that is wonderful. And we know that you're making many in the world as well.
Yes, indeed.
Is there going to be more of this in the next few weeks or months, or what can we expect, or what can the world expect?
Sure. I don't know what the exact dates are for the rest of the vaccines that are coming to the Bahamas. I know that those logistics are still being worked out, but the U.S. has pledged a total of 379,000 vaccines to the Bahamas. I believe they are all Pfizer. So, yeah, this shipment of 128,700 was just the beginning, and the rest will be coming in the coming weeks and months. Like I said, I don't have the exact dates yet, but we know that they are on the way. And really, the goal is a simple one. It's to save lives. I think that the science is pretty uncontroversial at this point when you hear from public health officials, doctors, scientists, that the vaccine greatly diminishes the likelihood of a person becoming hospitalized or severely ill and certainly dying. I think you mentioned Dr. Del Regis's report yesterday, which of course was sobering in many ways, just to know sort of what the incidence of cases are in the Bahamas. But there was one statistic that came out, and I think it was covered in some of the papers today, that I thought was particularly, particularly important to me at least. And that is that since March of this year, between March and July 31st, March being, when vaccines first became available in the Bahamas, if I'm not mistaken, right. A total of 411 people were hospitalized, and none of those people who were hospitalized, I want to say that again, of all the people who have been hospitalized since March, between March and July, all of them were either completely unvaccinated or they had only received 1 dose, which was the case of 11 of those patients. And the same is true for the deaths, of course. 53 people died during that period, and all of them, except 1, were completely unvaccinated, and the remaining 1 was, again, partially vaccinated with just 1 dose. So that just goes to show just how many or just how effective these vaccines are, that since March, of the people who have been fully vaccinated, none of them have been hospitalized and none of them have died in the Bahamas. Right. I just thought that was, people talk about numbers and people talk about I've read this or I've heard this. When I hear a statistic like that, that's very compelling to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But you hear the people who call into talk shows. You hear people talking in the street. They're still so skeptical. What do you say to people when in the face of that evidence that is so compelling and overwhelming?
I think I don't know. I can't really sort of speak to what other people should or shouldn't do, but I can speak to sort of my own decision. And ultimately, when I decided to get vaccinated, which I did, as did everybody in my family, I did it, in part for myself, for my own peace of mind about, getting sick myself and about just feeling safe during the pandemic. But in large part, I'm not in one of the high risk groups for COVID. I'm in my late 30s. I'd like to think that I have pretty good health overall, a strong immune system. So really, in large part, I did it for all the people that I know who I was protecting directly or indirectly by getting myself vaccinated. My grandmother, who's 96 years old, she fortunately was able to get vaccinated herself, but I know that she is safer because everyone around her, everybody in my family, was able to get vaccinated. For family members and friends of mine who have, health issues, which mean that some of them, even if they wanted to, they can't get vaccinated, even though they want to. Or perhaps they can get vaccinated, but their immune response isn't as strong. So the only way for them to benefit from the vaccine is for all of the people around them to get vaccinated. Right. And for all the nurses and the healthcare workers who are overwhelmed and the people who are sick and injured for other reasons, but they can't get the care they need because the hospitals are overwhelmed, all of those things played into my decision to do this. And ultimately for me, it's a numbers game for the whole population. It's a matter of probability. It's not just about keeping myself and my family safe. It's about keeping everyone safe. And if that means, a small sacrifice on my part, so be it. I mean, I hate needles too, right? Who likes needles? I didn't like, the prospect of, the potential minor side effects that you have, but the various side effects were so small, smaller than the risk that plenty of us take every day with just very common everyday activities like riding in a car or crossing the street. Those risks are risks that we accept because we know that it's worth it in the end. And I thought that in my mind that the vaccine was certainly worth it in terms of keeping myself and other people around me safe.
Yeah. We've got people who are heading to the U.S. to get vaccinated. Quite a few people have done that. Is there any way that are the countries working together so that we can know who I know we're relying on people to come forward and tell us. Is there any way that we can smooth that process over? I don't know if the embassy has any ideas on that or how that should be handled so we can get a better picture of what we're dealing with here.
So you're talking about like a way to keep track of people who live in the Bahamas, but perhaps went to the United States or somewhere else to get vaccinated and then came back, and so sort of there's not an accurate picture of exactly how many people are vaccinated in the Bahamas.
Right.
Okay. I don't believe that we have done anything specifically on that front. I've seen to great efforts to great lengths to try and figure out what that statistic is. But ultimately, and really wanted to just encourage people, regardless of who else has gotten vaccinated or hasn't gotten vaccinated. I hear people saying that this is a personal decision, this is a personal choice, and that's true. It is a choice ultimately, to get vaccinated in the Bahamas. Nobody is being forced to do it at this point, and I would just say that, like so many other personal choices. Choices have consequences, and not just consequences for you, consequences for others. And those are the things that I just encourage people when I talk to them to take into consideration when they are making this decision. And before I forget, I just wanted to, like you have already, and like Dr. Del Regis did in her presentation last night, just join you guys in encouraging people to get vaccinated. And the website is easy to remember. It's vax.gov.bs. For anybody who wants to get vaccinated and get registered for that, that's the place to go.
Yeah, I know you've talked about this in the media before, but just for those who might have missed it, AstraZeneca, not FDA approved at the moment, but it recognized in the U.S. as an official vaccine?
The World Health Organization has approved it as safe and effective. If I'm not mistaken, the CDC does consider 2 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine to sort of count as someone being fully vaccinated. And I know that because of the way that the United States works, not just on this, but there's different kind of details depending on what state you're in or what city you're in terms of whether that counts for the places where in order to do indoor dining, you have to, show that you've been vaccinated, et cetera, those kinds of things. I think that's just different depending on each location. But by and large, on a federal level, the United States does recognize the validity and the safety and efficacy of the AstraZeneca vaccine based on the WHO approval.
All right. So is there a way to check with the state that you may be traveling to, or if you're going off for college or for business? How do you determine whether that state is going to recognize it?
Like you just said, I think it's a matter of contacting sort of your point of contact for whatever activity you're going to be engaging in, and just getting updates from them directly. I'm sorry to say, as far as I know, there isn't like a single sort of 411 number to figure these things out. So people just have to do their homework a little bit and ask in each one of the individual locations where they're going.
Yeah. All right. So I'm getting some interesting questions here. One that keeps
Please. I'll do my best. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. But I'm happy to take people's questions, and I'll do my best to respond to them as best I can.
Well, they aren't asking about anything to do with COVID or the vaccine.
Oh, okay.
They want to know, quite a few people, when will the Bahamas get an ambassador? I don't know if you could answer that one.
I'm afraid I can't at the moment. We don't have a firm timeline for that yet. What I can say, though, is that in the meantime, we continue to do our very best to continue to strengthen and bolster the long friendship between the U.S. and the Bahamas. I don't know. I since I've been here, at least, I think there is no doubt in my mind of just how important the relationship between the Bahamas and the United States is. And I mean, for me, I arrived just a few weeks before Hurricane Dorian, and when Dorian hit, that I think is when I fully understood just how important a partner the Bahamas is to the United States, just because of how quickly I saw my colleagues, now many of them friends in Coast Guard, move to rescue people from Abaco, how quickly USAID moved to bring people down here to help do the assessments, all the aid. And the other thing is, it's not just the U.S. government. I mean, certainly the U.S. Embassy has done a lot, but we saw the generosity of the American people just in terms of all the donations that were coming in, people that were flying their own planes in to try and rescue people, et cetera. And, that created its own set of logistical complications. At one point, we had to try and sort of coordinate the air traffic coming into the Bahamas. But, in some ways, I think it was a good problem to have, in the sense that we just really saw just how much the Bahamas after Dorian. And I think that's been true during the pandemic as well. Since the beginning of the pandemic, in addition to the vaccines that came in last week, we've contributed $1.5 million in direct COVID-19 assistance in the form of the respirators, the freezers that I just mentioned, a very large grant that USAID made to the Bahamas Red Cross. And that doesn't even include the 2 vaccine distribution missions that the Rhode Island National Guard helped the Ministry of Health and the Vaccination Committee execute to 8 different family islands. And there's another one being planned as we speak, now that there's more vaccines in country. Rhode Island National Guard, RING, as we affectionately call them, are trying to, we're working with them to try and coordinate another distribution mission. And that, of course, is in addition to the more than $10 million in assistance that we provided over the past year for ongoing disaster preparedness and resilience. Northcom donated a couple of brand new boats to the RBDF to help do search and rescue during disasters, radio equipment, a big donation last year of emergency unsinkable boats. I think there's seen them on location in a couple of islands that I've been fortunate enough to visit since that donation was made. And yeah, it's just been really good to see all of that assistance come through.
Yep, and we do appreciate the assistance. Yeah. Chester?
Now, in that same vein, I wonder if maybe you could say how the construction of the new embassy is going, if how timelines are, if things are looking good. I don't know if you can
sure.
get an update. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Happy to report that no major delays beyond what just had already been sort of factored in from the beginning of the pandemic, and I believe that the construction project is still on the updated schedule to be completed sometime in the latter half of 2023. And I think the original date, like when the project first started, I think that the original projected date of completion was spring of 2023. So a completion of summer or fall of 2023, a delay of only a few months is, all considering everything that's happened in the interim, I think is pretty good, if you ask me. I mean, I'm not a construction expert, a disclaimer, but I've been impressed by what I've seen on the site and what I've seen from that team and how much work they've done to keep that project going in spite of all the challenges.
Excellent stuff. This is a special relationship between the two countries. And Daniel, thank you so much for being here this morning and sharing this. We much appreciated donation here. And
my pleasure. And I just sort of the vaccination effort and everything, if I could take just another 30 seconds or so. And that is, I think there's a lot of talk about, the vaccine and vaccination efforts. And I think what people forget is that there is one incontrovertible fact about the history of combating infectious diseases around the world. And that is that successful vaccination campaign is the only way that human beings have ever actually successfully eliminated widespread infectious diseases or eradicated them globally, as was the case for smallpox, for example. And, that just says something about how powerful the tool of vaccination is. And, keeping that in mind, I just want to, again, really urge people to get vaccinated if you're able to get vaccinated. And right now, with the supply of vaccines in the Bahamas, pretty much anybody who wants to get vaccinated should be able to make an appointment, right now if they want. So please go to vax.gov.bs. That's vax.gov.bs and register today.
Daniel, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Hopefully we'll be able to have you back in the studio at some point.
Looking forward to it, Dwight.
Definitely. Thank you again. Daniel Durazo with the U.S. Embassy here in Nassau. We're going to take a break and be back with more. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
$1.50 all the time. Your boom pineapple wine, $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, $1.50 all the time. Turn around and let me see. Turn around and let me see your boom pineapple wine, $1.50 all the time.
Pediasure, the #1 brand recommended by pediatricians, now has 33% less sugar compared to previous formula and provides 25 vitamins and minerals and 7 grams of protein kids need for a healthy growth. It's a convenient meal or snack with a delicious kids-approved taste they'll love. Pediasure, nutrition to help kids grow. Ask your pediatrician about Pediasure today.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? At CFAO, we specialize in investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAO, growing wealth for future generations.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Breakfast just got better at Wendy's. Introducing the Breakfast Biggie Bag. Enjoy a double sausage muffin with 2 square sausage patties, a freshly cracked egg, and cheese served on a toasted English muffin, a medium waffle fries, and an orange juice for only $5.25, VAT inclusive. Add an apple pie for just $1 more.
Say what?
At Wendy's, better breakfast is all day. Offers valid in participating locations. Wendy's, different inside and out.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations, unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value. Upgrade or sign up today. Visit any BTC store or btcbahamas.com.
Many people wonder, what makes Boost Academy unique? Maybe it's our 8-to-1 student-staff ratio, the emphasis we place on student individuality, our focus on numeracy, literacy, and creating better citizens by sharpening students' critical thinking skills. One of our many talented teachers, program facilitators, and mentors. Or just maybe it is our commitment to taking full responsibility for your child's education, no hidden fees or costs. Regardless of what it is, let us help your child reach their full potential. Boost Academy is currently enrolling students of grades 4 through 12. Visit www.boostbahamas.com to apply now.
Be prepared for the rainy season with an RBC loan to fund your rainy season essentials. For hurricane shutters, generators, solar power systems, or general home repair, RBC offers a range of flexible and competitive financing solutions. Let us help you get started at rbc.com/Caribbean/get-a-loan. Special conditions apply. Reimagine your rainy season readiness with RBC financing.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Your boom pineapple wine, your $1.50 all the time.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with Chester Robards. We've got a break for news in just a second, Chester, but let me read a few of these messages before we go. I really don't mind. Some of you must have had a very rough weekend. Something's going on. But anyway, so I said earlier, Chester, we mentioned the flu vaccine, right? So this person's saying, flu vaccine, Dwight? Flu vaccine? It's a flu shot, not a vaccine, my brother. Please correct yourself or you'll be guilty of spreading falseness. What's happening right now? What's going on? What's going on?
That's a troll. I think people are just trolling right now.
What's happening? And then I responded to them. I said, you cannot be serious with this text. And they said, so what? There is a flu vaccine? There's a vaccine for the flu? I didn't know that, sir. I know it to be a shot. Oh, come on, people.
Hey, okay.
Y'all call this COVID jab a vaccine when the CDC's definition says it's not. Stop. Who's y'all? Y'all. You were asked about vaccines that enables you to spread the virus. You said the flu vaccine, but it ain't no vaccine. It is a vaccine, and all vaccines aren't the same. Some vaccines can completely eradicate the thing and cause you to not be able to get infected, and others can just diminish the symptoms if you do. They're not all the same. Vaccine does not mean cure, right? It does not mean cure. We can't be having these conversations. And if you feel inclined to do those things, check it out before you say it to other people who are very scared right now, right? When you say those things, you make them very nervous. Check out everything you want to say before you say it. And, all right, and especially when you say it around people who really just want some real information. So let's not do that. This text here, Dwight, I have 6 staff members. 3 are vaccinated. These are the older, sensible ones. Oh, boy, that's a text saying that. But the 3 younger ones refuse all the vaccines. I am at my wit's end to find a way to get them to take it, short of screaming at them. I hope they make it mandatory. I wish I can let them go, but I can't under the law for their refusal. That is based solely on social media conspiracy stories, and it's really galling me. I hope the government puts restrictions on unvaccinated people like New York has done. This is maddening. We have the means to fend off the virus, but these nincompoops refuse it.
Some serious frustration there.
And I suspect, based on the information you included in the text, I think they're going to know you're talking about them if they hear this. But I guess you don't mind if they think, if they know that you think they're nincompoops. Okay, that's fine. This one says here, I see the reason why Bahamians are hesitating when it comes to this vaccine. The reason being that people who are advocating it are not being totally honest. You do have people fully vaccinated that are hospitalized. I also had a friend fully vaccinated just pass away. What did your friend pass away from? Was your friend sick? What was the issue? How close a friend was this? And where are these?
For their own purposes, they throw that word around loosely.
Well, someone they met in the 90s. Yeah. And, where were they fully hospitalized? Where were they fully hospitalized? Now, somebody sent a text earlier. I really wanted to read this one. This one was kind of out there. All right. So based on your logic, Dwight, if a person is predisposed to heart attacks and strokes, would it be wise for that person to be vaccinated? No, that's not what I said. Earlier, that was a texter. I said, was the person predisposed? Anyway, it truly appears that once you are vaccinated and die, then the narrative is that you died from something else.
You know, we're gonna. There's no winning here. People are gonna flip it, and no matter what you say, no matter what science you bring, they're gonna flip it. So you say they didn't die from this, you say this. You can't win in this.
Telling you all their business about what they're sick with. Who's doing that? Seriously, really? You think they would tell you? Do they? Do you tell all your friends? Oh, I have this and that too. Plus, I used to have this, but it's so stop. Your friends aren't telling you everything either. So let's all dial it back a little bit. Okay, a couple more messages. We've got to go to the news. This one says here, so people who take the vaccine are smart and those that don't are dumb. How is it that scientists can say the vaccine is safe within months of rolling it out and it's still in an experimental stage, but people are dumb for not wanting to take this risk? Wow. Still having this conversation there. And this one here, you're missing the point. Anyone who dies having been vaccinated is a reason for investigation. You must rule out it wasn't the vaccine. That's what they're doing. They do that every day, right? I think the vaccine dashboard from yesterday says that they are investigating. This is what they do all the time. They are, the Ministry of Health, they're investigating 3 deaths. They haven't been counted as COVID deaths yet, but they're investigating. So they have to rule out all of those things. Did this person, did they have any issues? Did they have a condition? If not, well then, we have to count them as a COVID death. And if it's found that one of those 3 were vaccinated, then that will be the case. But if you find the person had cancer or had a heart condition or something else, then that's what caused it. No? All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to change gears a bit. We're going to talk about the Prospect Ridge development. Today's the final day to apply. Did you know about that? Did you have enough time? Are you ready? Did you apply? We're going to get into all of that this morning and why there seems to be some, what word would you use, Chester? Is it secrecy?
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll talk about that after the break. This is Morning Blend. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is the Guardian News Network update on the hour. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlene Ferguson. Driving home the message that unvaccinated persons are being hardest hit by this latest COVID surge. Ministry of Health data show that of the 411 patients hospitalized for COVID between March and July this year, 411 were partially vaccinated. Of the 53 deaths recorded at PMH during that same period, 52 were unvaccinated and 1 was partially vaccinated. The numbers suggest fully vaccinated persons were not seriously impacted by COVID during that period. With the benefits of the vaccine now scientifically clear, government will begin ratcheting up its vaccination program beginning this week with more vaccination centers and more vaccines. Chair of the National COVID Vaccine Consultative Committee, Dr. Merceline Talrija, says they will begin administering the Pfizer vaccine at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium Thursday and Friday this week. Appointments go live 3 p.m. today. She also revealed 8,858 COVID vaccines were administered last week, and that over the next week, 7,514 vaccine appointments have already been booked, which includes 4,603 first doses. 38,400 doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine are also due in country this week, with health officials encouraging adults and now their children ages 12 to 17 to get vaccinated as the best protection for themselves and others. And it's unclear at this point whether those healthcare workers participating in a 4-day sick-out will be off the job again today. The Public Hospitals Authority admits the action continues to slow service in their laboratory and radiology departments despite mitigation efforts. BPSU President Kimsley Ferguson says those workers are upset about who have received honorariums and who have not. The PHA has said not all workers qualified for those payments, but that more honorariums will be disbursed after the August payroll. Headlines at this hour. Stay with us. AP Update is next.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day, boy.
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking about everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life and junk, you know.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you, and your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. This traffic report is brought to you by Shield Insurance and Prudential Law Adjusters.
Final look at traffic now, and it's moving a lot later recently. During the initial 2 hours of our morning commute, and traffic a lower than usual traffic count hit the streets. So initially, the delays and congestion island-wide are minimal. Now that it's later, we see the gradual upturn in the traffic flow through the streets of New Providence. Coming out of the east along Prince Charles Drive, it slows a bit, passing the Seabreeze and Beatrice Drive intersection. Traffic thickens a bit on Soldier Road, especially near the Abundant Life and Fire Trail Road intersections. You can see traffic slowing along the Eastern Road on the ride out. It's slow in some places along that route. Same thing is happening on West Bay Street for the ride there, getting into the city. No delays over there either, just a slow ride of active traffic. Moving across the dual lane highway is active, but not having any congestion and delays going on. Just enough traffic there to keep things moving. The west end of Tony's Million Dollar Highway has a convoy of traffic that's leaving that Samala Tony's Million Dollar roundabout, headed west into the JFK area. However, there is concern always for Gladstone Road and Samala Highway, both still having lengthy traffic lines getting out. Not as much as usual, but nevertheless traffic waiting to get out of there. Hopefully all that's going to finally dissipate within the next few minutes because of the low traffic count island-wide. This National Traffic Report being brought to you by J.S. Johnson. You can check out J.S. Johnson Online Service Center app. There you're able to view your policy details, check outstanding balances, report a claim, and more. Sign up today at jsjohnsononline.com. With your Sky Look at traffic in real time, I'm VA Double Ed.
Michael was in a horrible car accident. Prudential Loss Adjusters managed his claim and got him the settlement he deserved. Sierra's roof received hurricane damage. Thanks to Prudential, she and her kids are happy with their claim settlement. Tammy fractured her ankle in a slip and fall. Prudential saved her time, money, and peace of mind. Prudential Loss Adjusters are here ever a tragedy strikes. Call 322-4026 now.
Don't wait for disaster to strike. This hurricane season, be ready. Protect your home with an affordable and comprehensive home insurance policy from Shield Insurance. You can't control what nature blows your way, but with Shield Insurance, you can rest easy as you ride out the storm. Protect your largest and most valuable investment. Don't take a chance. Put your home in our hands.
Shield Insurance agents and brokers in Nassau call 356-7202 or Freeport 352-5945.
I'm Rita Foley with an AP News Minute. Thousands of Afghans are running, trying to get away from the Taliban, which now controls Afghanistan. Some terrified Afghans are fleeing through land border crossings. Others are pouring into Kabul's airport, where the U.S. has been trying to evacuate Americans. Some climbed onto the side of a jet just before takeoff. Some Republicans are blaming President Biden for withdrawing U.S. troops from Afghanistan. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Magani.
The president's scheduled to stay at Camp David through Wednesday, though if he decides to address the nation, he's expected to say there are discussions about having the the president speak publicly. Over the weekend, the White House released a single statement from him and a photo showing him meeting virtually with experts.
This morning, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan blamed the Afghan security forces for the collapse of the government in Kabul. I'm Rita Foley.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, August 16th, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, joined by Chester Robards. On this Monday, we are talking about the Prospect Ridge development. It is the last day to apply today, Monday, the 16th of August, 2021. We've been trying here to have some, from last week, have some folks on to discuss it, give some final pointers for those who might be interested in applying. No luck. And Chester, I know that you were trying as well. Yeah.
I've gotten no answer about it.
Huh. Very interesting. So we're wondering what that's all about. But it was a 6-week process, and we know this was a big issue when it was first announced, when the Prime Minister first announced this. It got a lot of discussion, a lot of debate. The opposition had a lot to say, and the public had a lot to say. Many people were questioning about the young professionals subdivision and what that meant and whether it was discriminatory. We had lots of people who still think that it is. In terms of the age group, you had to be 18 to 45 only. And many had an issue with that. Side saying that, what if you are a little bit older than that? Why shouldn't you be given this opportunity as well? And people saying, 18? Why 18? What can 18-year-olds do? Of course, I don't understand that side of the argument. But here we are, final day. And during the 6 weeks, it's been relatively quiet. I think there's a billboard near the area on JFK Drive. I believe I saw one out there. And was that about it?
I think so. It hasn't been much.
But we know there's been a lot of interest in the whole process, so It's been amazing. So we want to hear from you about it, your views on this as we wind down already, and the fact that there has been such little public relations on this matter, why you think that is. But we want to talk about it. Maybe you have applied. We'd love to hear from you and what this experience has been like for you.
And like someone said to me, I think that is that, I don't think anybody knew there was going to be a deadline, or when it would be.
Well, we knew it wasn't going to be indefinite, but definitely not this short.
Well, yeah.
And 6 weeks, and that went by very quickly, as we said. Not even the beginning part of it. A flyer went up, and I think there might have been something on social media, one little thing, but that was it. And just very odd. Very odd. But hey, it was posted on Wednesday, the 30th of June, and here we are. And the application form has there's some guidance notes, and these are interesting. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But again, if you can tell us your experience or you have your views on this, you can call us 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4799. 9-6. So, of course, the guidance notes goes into some great detail about what this is all about. I'm just going to read a little piece of it for you. It says that Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and Minister responsible for Crown Lands, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, announced that the government of the Bahamas will provide affordable lots with infrastructure installed for Bahamian young professionals. The new upscale community will be built on prime Crown land, the first of which is the Prospect Ridge community for young professionals. It'll be available for young Bahamians who qualify to purchase, build, own, and maintain a home. The initiative is part of the government's land reform priority, fostering social and economic empowerment through land ownership while strengthening the country's middle classes. Through the government's My Gateway portal, young Bahamians from throughout the Bahamas apply for serviced lots in the community beginning July 1st, 2021. Serviced lots are vacant land situated in a subdivision owned by government that has been provided with the necessary infrastructure for essential services. Tax concessions are also provided to facilitate construction on serviced lots for up to 2 years. The community will meet all government regulatory and environmental standards. The environmental impact assessment for the community is presently underway by an environmental consultant retained by the government. The tendering process is underway for Bahamian professionals to provide the technical designs for the community, as well as to design 10 model homes from which approved applicants can select. This includes models to allow access by persons with disabilities. So what are we understanding that to mean? That this isn't completed processes yet? Those aren't, the designs aren't locked in and done? No, nobody?
No,
Oh,
I guess not.
oh my. Okay. These guidance notes provide specific information on the Prospect Ridge community for young professionals. It outlines the vision, purpose, eligibility requirements, property information, selection process, and the application fields that will be requested via the online application through one of these. The eligibility requirements. So, nationality, applicants must be Bahamian citizens. Residency, applicants must be resident in the Bahamas. Family island residents can apply. This home must be your primary residence. Professional. For the purposes of this project, a professional is someone who is accomplished in his or her field, sufficient independently to sustain a mortgage or the financial responsibility for a residential dwelling in the community. The applicant must be a first-time homeowner. The applicant must be 18 to 45 years old at the time of application. And then with financial stability, the applicant must show proof that he or she can qualify for a loan from a financial institution to purchase and build on their property if chosen, or the applicant must provide a letter from a financial institution stating that they currently hold the required cash and have the regular income needed to purchase the property, build, and maintain the building. Government will not be providing guarantee for mortgages. All right, so there's more in the guidance notes, and they were asking for employment details and income, the amount per month, and usual stuff there. Income amount is interesting, though. And if you're applying for the single-family home, and the documentation they're requiring, a job letter or applicable, issued within the last 45 days, a mortgage pre-approval letter or letter of financial suitability from a qualified financial institution, current business license where applicable as well. And so with the certification process, the applicants have to understand that they will be required to build in 2 years, with the understanding that an additional year can be applied for with government tax concessions. And they have to accept any and all decisions of the government or its designee as final, and that there is a limited amount of lots, and submittal of a full application does not guarantee approval to purchase a lot. There's more there as well. Now, this is the part that's interesting, selection process and awarding. Considerable effort was made to ensure that there is a transparent and equitable selection process which meets the government's objective of making land available to young Bahamian professionals and which takes advantage of digital technology. The following steps will be followed. first time that the selection process below is being utilized for this purpose, and the Committee for the Development of Communities for Young Professionals reserves the right to amend the process only if necessary to allow for a smooth process. Step 1, the applicant submits application via online government portal mygateway.gov.bs under services provided by the Office of the Prime Minister. Step 2, the applications are verified to ensure they meet all the eligibility requirements stated above. And step 3, all verified applications are placed into the following categories. There's single female. It's proposed that 20 to 25% of the service lots be allocated in this category. Okay, single male. It's proposed that 20 to 25% of the service lots be allocated in this category. Married couples. It's proposed that 35 to 40% of the service lots be allocated in that category. And then persons with disabilities. Proposed that 5 to 10% of the service lots be allocated in that category. Step 4, all verified applications are reviewed in detail to ensure that all applicants meet the necessary requirements. Step 5, all verified applications are weighted, as identified above, and ranked with their respective categories based on the following. Age, 25 and under, 15 points. Okay. 26 to 35, 10 points. 36 to 45, 5 points. What? Okay, all right. Other land ownership, whether vacant or otherwise. Yes, 0 points. No, 5 points. Financial income, being salary or net business income, 80,000 and under, 15 points. Greater than 80,000 to 120,000, 10 points. Over 120,000, 5 points. Professionals engaged in the public service or permanent and pensionable, contract workers, government corporations, and agencies. Yes, 5 points. No, 0 points. And please note, applicants may be asked to provide additional documentation to support their answers to questions. The submission of any false information or omission or relevant information may result in immediate disqualification of the application. Then there's step 6. Once the categorizing, verification, and weighting processes are complete, the Committee for the Development of Communities for Young Professionals will compile a list of successful candidates based on the criteria submitted to policymakers for final approval. Once applicants are approved by policymakers and all government regulatory requirements have been met as it relates to the subdivision, they will be contacted by the Office of the Prime Minister for further steps with regards to a lot selection, payment, and official transfer of ownership. If any applicant is not able to meet the financial obligations or close on the transaction, then the lot will be awarded to the next eligible applicant in the selection process. And then some that's very, very interesting stuff there. Some general information. The applicant is required to commence, as we said before, a complete building within 2 years if selected to purchase a land parcel in the community. The applicant is required, if selected, to attend at least one educational session to be scheduled at a later date. During the session, the rights and responsibilities of the homeowners will be presented. The service will not allow a person to submit 2 applications. And if you apply as a co-applicant, you cannot submit another application. And then the government will have first right of refusal within the first 5 years if the applicant decides to sell. A homeowners association will be established along with homeowners covenants. Guidance documents will be provided at the appropriate time to assist with the establishment of the same. And then there's a list of frequently asked questions. We can get back to that. All right, so let's talk about it. This is definitely a unique and novel way to do this.
Especially that point system.
My goodness. And you have to... What's the rationale? And this is why we wanted to talk to some of the folks involved in this. What's the rationale for some of those, especially, as you say, the point system for age group? I can understand maybe the salaries. I could understand that, perhaps. Yeah. But the ages, and for people that young group there, that very high point value for that feels really Hunger Game-ish to me for some reason. I don't know what's going on.
And the fact that you get more points for being in the public service.
Right? And we know that's the way the government likes to do this. They have a number of subdivisions like that already. But, All right, let's get your views on all of it, folks. What do you make of this? I know we've said it before that it would be, I felt that way definitely, and I think some of my co-hosts have said it before as well, that if it could be more transparent in terms of fine, you vet the people, you meet the criteria, but everybody's entered into a lottery perhaps, so it won't be so subjective.
Well, the final selection process sounds like everybody looks at it and decides who gets what.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
How does that become transparent?
Exactly.
That's the question.
That's very concerning. And if you are all eligible, put them into a big box. If you must do it in the single female, single male, married couple, put them in those 4 different boxes and draw.
Spin a wheel.
Get your 20% of this, 20% of that, 30% of whatever. And perhaps that would be a little fairer. Otherwise, there will be questions about this process. Let's see if you agree. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Maybe they won't speak because they'll be afraid. But if you have applied, we'd love to hear from you on this as well. This is a text here. Did they publicly announce the final application date? Because this is news to me. Hey, it's news to a lot of people, I am sure. I stumbled on it on social media. Like, what? Last day already? That was last week, and we've been trying for many days now to get somebody from the committee on to explain, to talk to us, and Jess has been
I only heard about the deadline because someone sent me the flyer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's very, 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 very odd.
One would think they would have released or something and say, this is where we're at, deadline coming. You know?
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, we read that one already. Okay, so I wanted to go back to this here, some of the frequently asked questions that they say that I don't know who they know to ask these frequently asked questions since they haven't been talking to people. But, okay. Can I apply if I plan to return home from abroad next year and I don't currently have a house in New Providence? The answer is at the time of application, the applicant must be resident in the Bahamas. They've been saying that part. This one says, if I own a home outside the Bahamas, am I still eligible to apply? The answer, the community is being developed for first-time homeowners only.
These are frequently asked questions on their site?
That's on their site. Yeah, sure, sure. Now, that's interesting, though. If you don't have a home here, would you have a home abroad? Huh. What do you think about that one?
That's interesting.
Wow. Okay. If I own a house in one of the family islands, am I still eligible to apply? The answer is Bahamians who reside on a family island may apply. However, if you already own a home, you are not eligible to apply. Another one. Can I apply jointly with a sibling or another family member to own one of the lots? The answer, joint ownership is permissible once all the criteria are met. Another question. Will the government give tax concessions on the lot and building? The answer. Concessions available under the Access to Affordable Homes Amendment Act will include exemption from customs duties and excise tax in respect of the import or domestic purchase of any materials necessary for the construction of a dwelling home and furniture and appliances for the said dwelling home, provided the dwelling home is completed and furnished within a 2-year period from the date of the minister's approval. Also, the Act provides for exemption of real property tax for a period of 5 years from the date of the certificate of occupancy. And this one here, what happens if I get approved? I lose my job and therefore my financing. Do I have to sell my property back to the government? The answer, the government will reserve a right of first refusal for any sale of the property. Okay. Can I live in the house for a period out? The answer, if you did not apply for the duplex or townhouse, it is anticipated that the house be your primary residence for a minimum of 10 years. 10 years, wow. Wow.
It's a lot.
Wow, okay.
What a contract there,
My
huh?
goodness, this is something else. Oh, how will I know if I've been successful? You will be notified after the review and selection process is complete. Can I apply for more than one lot? The answer, no. Only one application will be accepted from an individual. And then finally, if I am presently part owner of a home, am I eligible to apply? Nope. The program is for first-time homeowners only. All right. Okay. And we've heard from the Prime Minister there's going to be more of these to come. And
Yeah, they said they've identified more land already.
Right. Yeah. All right, here's the text. How come there was not that question about political relatives on that land application?
It might be a little too difficult, huh? In this tiny country.
Well,
I mean, would it disqualify you?
Well, hey, for some reason, the insurance companies are asking you if you're a politically
Well, that's
exposed
normal
person.
KYC, right?
Yeah, well, this would be, wouldn't that? No, you don't.
So will the loan application.
Well,
will
I guess
ask
they'll
that.
ask that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you have no deadline or a long time to register, then the government can't brag about how many young professionals signed up for it prior to the election. I guess that's it. Yes, we knew it couldn't be indefinite, but this seems kind of short, 6 weeks to get all that information together. But I guess if you're serious, you'd be perhaps halfway there already, maybe? I don't know. More text messages before we take a break. Somebody says here, this government hasn't built any homes in 5 years, and now they are dangling prime crown land only cronies will be approved for?
Call me a crony if I'm approved.
Did you apply?
Yeah, I did apply, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you could talk. What was the process like? Maybe we'll get...
No, it was. I mean, yeah. You said people would be halfway done. I mean,
so you were already.
The thing that you need to get is the job letter and the statement from the bank, which that doesn't take long.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it was done in a matter of minutes, to be honest. Yeah.
That part or the whole thing.
Though, I mean, like I said, once you get those two things, you're done in minutes. Yeah. The only thing I messed up something, and they said not to apply twice, but there's no way in the My Gateway thing to delete something, so I had to do it twice. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to delete one if you made a mistake or something.
Right, but that didn't seem to be an issue.
Oh, I don't know. I'll find out.
You'll find out. Oh my. Well, that's good luck to you, Chester. Good luck to you. All right.
See how it goes.
Yeah. Let's take this call before we take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
I am always in favor of projects that the government are involved in that will enable Bahamians to get opportunities for home ownership. Every layout there'll be some kinks, but I'm sure as they move forward, they will be ironed out. My suggestion for the next available projects, however, would be to develop a website that has all of the Crown land availability in the other islands that are being developed. So interested persons who are interested in acquiring crown land for those islands will be able to go to the website to see what's available. Because here's the thing, what this pandemic has brought and what I would say the storm has brought to our attention is the need for development in the other islands to diversify our population and our economy. So what better way to offer crown land to individuals who want to build those unique experiences for folks who are looking for unique and cultural experiences away from the major islands. So having this opportunity, I'm sure that there will be persons who will be eager to take advantage of acquiring beachfront properties throughout the islands, throughout the undeveloped islands or developing islands in the Bahamas, to create those unique experiences where they can offer grocery stores, island hopping tours, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking that might be something that would be next step in regards to aiding Bahamians who want to develop and have opportunities in those other islands. My thoughts? Your thoughts?
No, it sounds very good. Definitely. We need to do everything we can to encourage that. Do much.
I gather that in some instances the government's not even sure what is available yet.
Wow.
Like they're still looking around at what kinds of places they could grab and use for this kind of development.
Mm-hmm. Building it as we go along, eh? It seems. Boy. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more on your messages, and want to hear from you about this, how you are feeling about it. If you still feel this is discriminatory, I'd love to hear on that, and what do you make of this very short turnaround time, this quick deadline that's come about for this. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9 Morning Blend Business. Stay with us.
I have traveled to Germany, enjoyed myself in Atlantic City. I've been to all of the great countries. Now I'm living like a king down in Bimini, just talking about, singing about. No matter which part of the world I roam, little Nassau is my happy home. Talking about, I'm singing about. No matter which part of the world I roam, Bahamas is my happy home.
You invest in your children, your home, and your community. But are you investing in your financial future? Investment management, retirement planning, mutual funds, and private wealth management. Our team of experts never stops helping you plan for tomorrow. Because tomorrow begins today. Call us at 502-7010 to see what our financial advisors can do for you. CFAO. Growing wealth for future generations.
Wait, you know what's going down tomorrow?
No way, what happening?
Joe bringing me knives to school. He could do Junior in. Wait, he fooled with Joe good?
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't bog down for nothing. So that means he got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. You gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, enough.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next?
Alright, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We can just call Crime Stoppers. You can report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So what I want?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the call go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and you can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you said.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau, or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Challenger Energy Group and local environmental groups have agreed to discontinue the judicial review of the Perseverance #1 exploratory well, both sides revealing in recent press statements, with the environmental groups warning the company and any other group hoping to explore for oil in the country that any project will be aggressively challenged. The environmentalists, Save the Bays and Waterkeepers Bahamas also contending that in their fight against the government and Challenger Energy Group CEG, formerly Bahamas Petroleum Company, both opposing entities tried to, quote, price the advocates out of justice with high court fees. The final Supreme Court order reveals that both parties will bear their own costs given the discontinuance of the legal action that began back in December 2020. Despite the discontinuance, the environmental groups have branded their legal challenge a huge success. Save the Bay's legal director Fred Smith says in a statement that the legal challenge showed oil companies that environmentalists will ensure that all legal and regulatory requirements are followed. You can read more about this in today's Guardian business section. Vanguard Group Chairman Norbert Brazier revealing in the company's second quarter financial statements that the company recorded $6.3 million in profits for the first 6 months of 2021, despite the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic eroding its bottom line on the medical expenses side. Brazier saying in the statement that the increase in medical benefit claims was expected and comes after several periods of low utilization. And Tropic Ocean Airways making its inaugural scheduled flight to Nassau last week and will fly between Fort Lauderdale and Nassau 4 days per week, marking the beginning of more new airlift to the country. The airline's CEO, Robert Caravolo, saying that he and his team have worked on its schedule for months now and saw an opportunity to provide an affordable scheduled alternative to flying through larger, crowded airports. Overseas, Japan's coronavirus state of emergency will continue through September 12th rather than finishing at the end of this month as initially planned. The government decided today that with the coronavirus continuing to spread in the country, the state of emergency for Tokyo, Osaka, Okinawa, and 3 other regions which began back in July and expanded. The measures were enforced throughout the recently concluded Tokyo Olympics, which took place with no spectators from the general public at many events. With the latest extension, the emergency will remain in force during the Tokyo Paralympics, which open August 24th and close on September 5th. The decision will become official Tuesday, according to the Prime Minister, who says that an expansion of hospital care is a priority, and that people waiting at home for hospital beds are getting checkups by phone. The emergency measures center on asking eateries and bars to close at 8 p.m. and not serve alcohol. They will be expanded to several more prefectures, including Kyoto and others, currently under a less severe cautionary quasi-emergency. And global shares slipping so far today over concerns about Afghanistan. Shares in Wall Street is slipping at the open amid worries about surging coronavirus infections in Asia as well, and concerns about the long-term impact from the Afghan government's collapse. The S&P lost 0.5. Shares in Europe and Asia were also falling. Analysts say slow vaccination rollouts in Asia are pushing down investor sentiment, and analysts say the Taliban sweeping into Afghanistan's capital will affect markets around the world. The U.S. government has opened a formal investigation into Tesla's autopilot, partially automated driving system, as well as after a series of collisions with parked emergency vehicles. In your market watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, market movers Bahamas Waste moving 1,000 shares, closing at 750, up 53 cents. Commonwealth Brewery moving 500, unchanged at 540. Doctors Hospital moving 2,000, up 50 cents to 825. BGRS 810375 moving 4,300, closing unchanged at $100.05. Consolidated Water up 1 cent, closing at $2.49. Emiro Incorporated up 7 cents, closing at $11.59. The Basic All Share Index closing at 1,981.42, up 3.25. Recapping the week, the local market ended the week with 107,112 shares crossing the exchange in 46 trades, accumulating a value of $508,763. The Basic All-Share Index gaining 1.73 points, or 0.09%. Year to date, the index is down 111.04 points, or 5.31%. The week's volume leader, Bahamas First Holdings, moving 50,000 shares in 8 trades with a value of $120,082. The value leader, RF Bank and Treasury shares in 5 trades with a value of $146,460. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in tonight for CFAL Talks right here on Guardian Radio at 6:30 p.m. On Guardian Radio 96.9, Dwight Strong along with Chester Robards. We are talking about the Prospect Ridge development. Last day to apply, catching a lot of people off guard, but we know there's great interest in this, and I'm sure a lot of people who are interested have definitely taken advantage. How far back did you apply, Chester?
Day one.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe there was no need to promote it. Maybe a lot of people were like you, and as soon as they heard, within that first week they applied, as people were advised to do. So if it's oversubscribed, why promote it? Hey,
I mean, there's
more people than the number of lots they have?
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get your reaction again. You can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. An interesting question here. Someone saying, if I own a house in Nassau, how would you know if I don't send someone else to get the property and put it in their name, but I actually own it? Okay. Or if you know that you are going to be the owner, as in you're the only child, and you know this property is going to become yours, and by default, or this is going to be willed to you. This is yours. You're not living there now, but you will have that home.
The question that person asked, I mean, on paper, you're not the owner.
Right. Their question is a lot more complicated. Well, different from what I'm asking. And somebody's going to call you out on that one, I'm sure. It's not going to go as smooth as you think. But problems. Maybe not with the house in Prospect Ridge, but that other one. I don't know. But hey. But yeah, if you are going to be entitled to a home, if you know this, does that make a difference? Does that put you at an advantage, right? Does that need to be taken into consideration?
What's that?
If you are, you know that you're in the will, this home will be yours. It's not yours right now, but your parents, you're the only child. There's no disputing this. You've seen the will. You know this. This is going to be yours. Should that count? Does that make a difference?
That doesn't.
Okay. This person here asking, had the government not discontinued the National Housing Program in the Ministry of Housing, there wouldn't be any reason to have a raffle. Why can't we have both programs running at the same time? To say that it was stopped because of shoddy work by contractors just makes no sense. Well, I know I'm very unclear as to what's going on in the Ministry of Housing. I don't know. And it's hard to get information about anything going on there. So I would like, and I've been reaching out and not successful so far, to get a clearer picture of what is the National Housing Plan. Another one here. Any chance we can get someone on the show to speak more on the lot program, specifically the Prospect Ridge and other upcoming lots? Yeah, that's what we're all wondering. We're all wondering. We'd love to have that. That's what the point is. That's why we're doing this on our own, because we have not been able to do this, and they aren't talking for some reason. They're not coming forward. We've been trying for weeks, and we've been given excuse after excuse in many regards. Chester, you say you've not even gotten a response.
No?
At least I've gotten some responses. They say, well, give us a few weeks. That was what I was told about a month ago.
A few weeks?
Yeah.
Just to talk about where they are?
And then when I noticed that the days were winding down, more excuses. So it's very odd.
You know, there's also the very justified concern that should the government change, this all goes away.
Well, as a texter said earlier, I think that's why there's such a short window. Some things up, and so before the election. So, but yeah, they're also saying to talk about the process as it relates. Appears the website needs to be revisited and work out some of the issues. Did you feel the website had some issues, Chester, or you said it was a relatively smooth process, except for the mistake that you?
The only issue I had was like if I hit submit and I made a mistake, I couldn't like delete that application. I didn't find a way to do it if it exists.
Yeah. Okay. Another one. This is a totally different thing. What's going on with the Humane Society? And I don't want to take you off topic, but I went to adopt a puppy, and they said they have to come and inspect my premises. What nonsense? Is it nonsense?
No, I don't. Oh no, I don't think it's nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
I think that's great news.
Yeah, they have to make sure that you aren't going to put that puppy in danger and put that puppy in a worse environment.
Put that puppy on a leash for its entire life because you don't have an enclosed yard.
Yeah. So that's what they've been doing, and that's great. That's great. All right. Again, 224-796, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. So what have you been told so far? Anything? Did you get any note that your application was successfully entered, at least? Anything like that?
Only that only the website saying that it's there. That's it. So, guess that's good enough for now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we will see how this goes. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be watching it very closely. And will it be a model for the future, or just an odd experiment out there in the wilderness? It remains to be seen. I
can't wait to see what the selection process is going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, so there you go, folks. So you have a few, I guess, hours. It doesn't say what time is the deadline. We assume, I guess, 5 o'clock.
Today.
Yeah, but end of the day today. And as you said, Chester, it might not take that long. Many of the people were all thinking about a home, and so might not be that difficult to get this together. But it is your last day, just letting you know, because nobody else is talking about it. But good luck. Good luck to you, and we hope that it is a fair process for everybody. And we'll see. Hopefully we will be updated on how it goes. So, Chester, thank you very much for being here this morning. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
We'll talk again on Wednesday.
Yep.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend business and Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan. Have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
Wake up, it's a new day.